Tonya Burn Show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up. We're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tonya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. Renew, step it all renews.
Want to grow your business? Advertise with the Tonya Burns Show and unleash your brand's potential. Contact us today for advertising rates. Call 810-354-5843. That's 810-354-5843 or email hcrcga@gmail.com.
Hey, good evening. Happy Sunday evening. Y'all, we have not been on in a minute. Listen, tonight is going to be very special. Very, very special. Look, drop in the chat where you're from. Drop in the chat where you're from. So, I gotta click over to the other part. I'm on the wrong side. So I have a special guest. I have here with me none other than Pastor Thompson of St. Mark's Baptist Church. Look, we need like a drum roll for you. Look, I got two pens, only one word. Here goes your drum roll. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good tonight. Just had a great nap. We had a wonderful service today. It was Palm Sunday, so the church was hanging from the chandeliers today. We was having a good time. Hosanna in the highest. So we enjoyed, and I came home to get a nap. You can hear it kind of like my scratchy throat, but I got a good nap. So
well, you must have been doing some preaching.
Oh, we had a good time. We did some praising, some preaching, some intercessory prayer. And so we're happy about Holy Week, Passion Week. And so we're glad to be doing this in our great city.
So we're going to get into that in just a moment, but I want to make sure we start greeting everybody. So is Jonathan Joy, you know him. He's here. Yeah. He's kind of like Michigan / Tennessee. You know? I don't know if I ever told him I call him Tennessee. I call him Tennessee. He said my phone is Tennessee. So we got Eddie Gray. Good evening. Charlotte Bound, Felicia Simmons, Flint Casket. We have got y'all, and I got to go back down. I've been talking to too many Southern people because I'm picking up my roots where I was from. It's coming out. It's coming out. It is coming out. Y'all, we got a long show. Our Murphy. I gotta go all it. Oh God, y'all. Listen, I thank you. And I want to thank the moderators tonight. Gutter Black. Hey, listen, AJ. We have Sheena Backton and we have got Patrick Jean. Thank you to my moderators. So we're going to have a good time here, just in here. We got Mr. Christmas, Megan Swanson, Carson Newbar, Avis Hopkins. And listen, I got that blue box I'll be telling y'all about. And I'll be telling you that, Producer Jay. And here we is from Santa Clarita, California. Miss J, hello. Demetria Brown, hello. Move in Silence. Hello, hello. Moving sign is 23. Okay. Um, Portland. I have my cousin Paige lives in Portland, Oregon. She always sends me happy cousin love you stuff, and I love it. It's always something happy. To my moderators, to Pat and to Patrick, Gina, Sheena, Beckton, and to producer Jay, I appreciate y'all because this show could not be possible without the three of you. It would not be possible. Melissa Zaremski, we appreciate Nikia Harris, Houston. We know Houston, Texas almost is like a sister city to us because we have a lot of Houston people. Keith, right. Downey, they had water. I didn't know that they had water infrastructure problems until he told me when he was here. You know, and he follows. And I appreciate that. Tara, listen, if I didn't mention your name, my chat, Debbie Clark, the twins, Debbie and Diane, it's still not catching up, y'all. It's not Christopher Sims from Little Rock, Arkansas, or Arcana, listen, from the South. Bishop T. Priestley, hey, Ramon Stripling, hello. Yeah, I ain't been on here in so long. It has been a long time. We didn't do Christine Lynch, hello, Tracy Gower. Look, if I didn't mention your name, is this going at, I don't know what the little black box, the little blue box, because I don't think I ever catch up. And I'm gonna be honest. Octavian Cater. We got some people. So listen, to everybody, happy Sunday. We're gonna send some love out here. Jared Breckenridge. Hey, I am just look, I'm so happy to have you on here, Pastor Thompson. I am, because you got some great things coming up. Aluna Calloway Lang. Hey, B Marie, what's up? Look, I may need some Be Cool pills. Now let me quit playing. Listen, you got some great things happening, and we've been talking about, you've been on before, and we've been talking about you're going to have a revival, and this is a special revival. Our community needs reviving, and it's almost like you feel like it is deconstruct before we reconstruct. So you are going to have on your revival, which is going to be April 17th at 6:30 p.m. You're going to have the Bishop Larry Trotter. It's going to be at St. Mark Baptist Church. You are on the corner of McClellan and DuPont. You do a lot of great things. So I'm going to let you have the floor, Pastor.
Well, thank you, Councilwoman Tonya Burns and Producer Jay. Thank you so much. And everyone that is here that's tuning in right now. It's good to see everybody on here today. Yes, we are excited. St. Mark Church is excited that we are having a revival. Our special guest again is Bishop Larry D. Trotter from the Sweet Holy Spirit Church of Chicago. And he is one of the founding fathers of the Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship, and he has a lot of accolades. And we also want to say congratulations to him for receiving. He will be receiving Hall of Fame Gospel Award in the Hall of Fame, and it's going to be in September. So we're excited about that. Of course, we all sing his music and the music of his church and fellowship, and we, sometimes we don't know, but most of the music, like The Lord is Blessing Me, and I've been through too much, and my worship is for real. Those different songs comes from Bishop Larry D. Trotter and the Sweet Holy Spirit Church. And so he's going to be here. He's no stranger to the city of Flint, as he has been at the New Jerusalem Full Gospel Baptist Church back in the day a little bit. And so we're just happy for him to be here. And of course, we had 3020 DuPont Street here in the wonderful city of Flint, April 17th. We want all roads to lead to St. Mark. In fact, press towards the mark, St. Mark. We're going to have a good time in the Lord, and we need to be encouraged. Our city and our scripture will be Philippians. Our theme scripture will be Philippians chapter 3 and verse 10, which say that I might know him in the power of his resurrection. Many of us need to be resurrected, just as Jesus was on that great Sunday morning.
So I've heard a lot of great things about Bishop Trotter. And so you seem to have a pretty close and great relationship with him.
Yes. Bishop Larry D. Trotter is an amazing man, amazing father for many young pastors. I still consider myself young, although I'm 52. I still consider myself young, and there's a lot of pastors that's younger than I. but he's a great mentor. He's a great pastor. It's the fellowship that you have with him is wonderful. Very humble man of God, who like to help with community efforts. He's not one of those pastors, if you please forgive me if it bothers you, but he's not one of those pastors that just have church just to be having church and programs to be having programs, but he have programs with a purpose and church services. And also he's very, very strong in the community. And so I like him, great mentor and great pastor and leader.
So, what was his two songs?
One of the songs is "The Lord Keeps Blessing Me Right Now." Oh, right now. You know that song?
Now, do you sing a little bit?
I do sing. I sing and I play instruments. I play organ and piano. But my siblings, I have some siblings that sing better than I.
So listen,
Yeah.
look, I'm gonna have to do a Christmas thing, and we have you play the piano. We around the
Okay.
piano,
Sound
you
good.
know. Don't
Oh,
that sound good?
sound
You
good.
know, and,
Yeah,
and sing Christmas carols.
that
You
sound
know,
good. That'd be
I mean
real
that's
good.
and those are the things that brings my heart joy. So
Yeah.
I haven't done that since, oh my God, it was it's been a long time, and I was actually in New York when I did it. So we got to find a piano somewhere and do that, and do some things, because when you do the work, you have a lot of stuff going on at your church that you often don't do the things that need to feed your spirit and your soul. You're just going from one thing to another thing. And so the revival I'm really looking forward to, and listening to, God didn't bless me. I keep telling you, they never let me sing solo at Blackwell Hymn Church.
Okay.
I
Well, listen,
was in the children's choir, but look,
did
they
you
let me
sing solo? You sung a solo?
No, they wouldn't let
Oh,
me.
well, you can sing so low where we don't hear you. It'll
Oh,
be pretty.
wait a minute. Pastor, just take a shot.
Listen,
I know that was not my gift to
I just
sing.
want to
It was
say that
not.
Chosen, Albert Strickland and Chosen, they are recording artists from the wonderful city of Flint and been recording for a very long time. Albert Strickland and Chosen will be there, and also with the St. Mark Sanctuary Choir. Now, Albert Strickland and Chosen have been featured on How Sweet the Sound, been featured on many gospel shows, and have traveled all over. In fact, they also have traveled to Sweet Holy Spirit Church in Chicago and also in Milwaukee. I do want to say we're going to have an amazing time. And there's also something that the city of Flint should know, is that Albert Strickland and Chosen also was credited or featured on Big Sean's record. And that
Really?
would say Flint's Chosen Choir on, I believe it's number 14. And the name of the song is Bigger Than Me. And it talks about the city, and it talks about the changes that has been taking place in all of our lives in our different cities. So that is on Big Sean's record. And of course, the song that you hear on the commercial is it's written by Albert Strickland and produced, and the song is "No Weapon Formed Against Me Shall Prosper, It Won't Work." And that's what we need to do, is speak to ourselves. Of course, Bishop Larry Trotter, and his motto is "What's to come is better than what's been." So celebrate a new beginning and leave the past behind. Don't worry, it's over, because God is preparing better things for what's to come. It's better than what's been. We're gonna have a good time. I'm excited about it.
It
Flint,
should be.
come on out. We're gonna be some great hosts and hostess, and just come in and enjoy.
Well, I know No Weapon Formed Against Me. That has been one of my favorite songs. But Fred Hammond, and it's cut 6 on selection 6.
Right.
Okay, on it. It
Right.
is. Look there. Look, producer Jay is on it.
Oh,
Meet
wow.
the Flint.
Yeah, that's Chosen. That's us right there. Oh,
Meet the Flint Choir, featured on Big Sean's newest album.
right.
Oh, so you're giving us knowledge, and it's funny how we are all connected, and people don't know. It's all about communication,
Absolutely.
showing some love,
Yeah.
and love will take care of
Right.
everything else. So
And
go ahead.
Tonya Burns, Councilwoman. Listen, one of the things about our great city, and I just want to say that, is that there's a lot of music and musicians who have come out of Flint. Of course, we know Dee Dee Bridgewater. She was from
Mhm.
Southwestern High School in city of Flint, and she's a jazz singer, and she sings everywhere, right? You remember? And then
Yeah,
we have,
her son, I think Sean, is we're friends
right.
on Facebook, and I think he puts her stuff up. So
Mhm.
go ahead. I'm
So,
sorry.
so, so there's a lot of artists that comes out of the city of Flint, gospel, R&B, quartet, and so Flint is very rich when it comes down to music, when it comes down to the automobile industry, and when it comes down to sports, because we are
We
doing
got
very
some sports. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And so Flint is all around the world. And it was something that you said that Houston is our sister city. It's a lot of us in Houston. It's a lot of us in Houston. And so we're all over the world. We came from a place called Flint. And the scripture said, can anything good come out of Nazareth? And Jesus came out of Nazareth. And there's some great things that have come out of Flint. And we have come out of Flint. So that's a great
Are
thing.
you hyping up Flint?
I'm out of Flint. I love Flint. Flint is my home. I was born and raised in Flint, and it's nothing like it. Fly City.
And you got enough Flint. And if you're here now and you can afford to leave, you here because you really love Flint. You've
That's
seen,
right.
the potential of the people and of the city. It's just how do we get everybody together? And
Right.
that's the thing. Um, I can't remember because I talked to so many people. We're talking about love,
Mhm.
and love takes care of everything.
Right.
Love really solves everything. And I
Right.
was telling this person about the gentleman who came to the young man who's in his 30s, and he came to
Mhm.
city council and he said some of them didn't look up at me. Some were on their phones the entire time. They didn't even acknowledge his presence. So after he finished speaking, I got out my seat and I went and introduced myself personally because I'm a mom of 3 children. And
Yes.
so I went to talk to him and a former educator. And so I went to talk to him, and he went to extend his hand out. I said, "No, no." I hugged,
Yes.
and when he hugged, he said, "You know what? I needed that. I needed
Yes.
that." And
So,
that's when we have to start embracing our
mhm.
younger people and embracing our community. And matter of fact, the person that I was speaking to was Jake.
Jake.
Jake,
Okay.
Jake, the rapper.
Okay.
That
Okay.
that was him, and first person that I've ever talked to who talks more than me.
Right. Okay. And I don't want to forget about rap also.
All right,
I'm from the
he
city
he
of Flint as well.
absolutely has some great one. His wisdom and how he's able to bridge those two things together. That we have to allow for space for all people in our community. It is to me, it is something that's important, but it has to be with the transparency,
Mhm.
honesty, integrity, and it
Right.
has to be that way. And
That's right.
too often, Flint residents are left behind, and the Flint fatigue. People, hope is something you can't put a price on because
That's
you
right.
can be rich and not have no hope.
Right.
You can
That's
be a
right.
billionaire and not have no hope.
Okay.
So when we talk about hope and inspiring, I have my playlist, like my immediate go-to song.
Right.
Um, uh, I sent you
No.
one,
Yeah, I got it.
and
A
that
wonderful
reminded
art.
me of you when you're going through something.
Yes.
And I love God favored me. I love I really when Kirk Franklin came on the scene, oh listen, that was like the party song. I was never really no clubber, but I did go out, a few times. I was a mom in my early 20s and married in my 20s.
Mm,
So you
okay.
wasn't really clubbing it out.
No.
So I love I smile. I love Kirk Franklin's music. I don't judge people by their lives because none of us has been so perfect to where we have not done something wrong. He is without sin, cast the first stone. I'm gonna
Right.
stand far back.
Okay.
so,
It sounds like you have a preach on you. It sounds like the spirit of preach is on you. That song that you sent me, and it was great that you encouraged me. No, everybody don't know what a person go through. There's a lot of
yeah,
things in life that people go through. They may smile, but it's some things that may be going on the inside of them. But the song was from, is it Jacqueline Carr?
Jacqueline Carr.
Okay, Jacqueline Carr. It's Jacqueline Carr. And it says, they said, but God said.
Yeah.
And I thought that was awesome right there. That's a nice subject to preach on. They said, but God said. Many said that you couldn't do it, but God said something different. And a lot of times we need to look through the lens of the Holy Spirit, what God says, how God sees us. He called us to do one thing. Other people want us to do the other or just sit back, but then God said, keep on going. And God will have somebody to send you a word, a message, a song in your heart, a song in your spirit. And it's just a blessing that we can come together. We can come together, and together we can make a difference. You said something about we have so much potential in our city, and we do have potential in our city. And the potential that we have in our city, there's a scripture that you say, how can we come together? It says, if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves. We need a humbling experience. Humble themselves and pray.
Yes.
Seek my face, turn from their wicked ways. Then I'll hear from heaven and heal the land. And I tell you, it's a time right now where we need to pray. Many of us go to church. We do a lot of things in church. But God said, my house shall be called the house of prayer. We need more prayer, and a lot of prayer, a lot of power. A little prayer, a little power. No prayer, no power.
Say it again. Say it again. And you don't, and people don't, you don't have to pray. You can pray anywhere. Pray.
Yes.
I pray wherever I go,
Mhm.
and my son, my middle son was always on the road, and I sneak in a prayer for him every time we on the phone. He'd be like, oh, mom. And then I say it so fast, and then, but my kid, we praying together so that we are in agreement. Because
Right.
not only to cover my children that I pray for the children in this city, in every city. I pray for my
Absolutely.
neighbors before I pray for myself. I
Absolutely.
pray for my community before I pray for myself and for my children, because that's what we're supposed to do. And
Yeah.
so I think that you and I, we are, our friendship has evolved, and it's a great friendship.
Right.
Today I was like, look, can I talk to you?
Can I talk to you? That's the word. Can I talk to you?
Can I talk to you? Yeah, because you need someone that you can confide in.
That's right.
And I am blessed and lucky to have you in my life. But
Thank
before
you.
we do this, let's play that video, because the video had me like, I was like, where my fan at? Because it's gonna be hot up in the touch. So,
Yes.
Producer Jay, can you put that on for me, please?
I will not be distracted in 2025. I will not procrastinate in 2025. I will remain focused in 2025 because I'm ready for acceleration and expansion.
No weapon
Formed against me
shall prosper.
prosper. It won't work.
Yeah.
So I appreciate anything that you want to say, because I got to get into budget hearings, and look, I ain't been on in a long time. It's really safe though to be on tonight, because I am literally coming to. I'm not, as he stated, in 2025, I will not be distracted. I will stay focused, and that is the word. I will not be distracted, and I will stay focused. And that was a word. I'm looking forward to you having him here, and it's a blessing, because we need that. Sometimes you may have, God will send you somebody to give you what you need. You don't know what they come from, but receive that word. And so I'm excited about that. Is there anything that you want to say?
I just want to say before I leave, first of all, thank you. I just want to thank the city of Flint, the community who also helps us with our food giveaway. We do have a food giveaway this Wednesday, and we thank God for Valley Aging Agency. I hope I'm saying that right. And
Valley area of aging.
thank you so much.
I dealt with them so much with my mother. So.
Okay. So they have been they donate food for the seniors. They do have senior food boxes, and so we thank them for that. And also everybody else can get food as well. We will have food for everybody. I do want to say today's message, when Jesus was in the hall of the ship, the disciples was above the ship, and Jesus was resting. And all of us, we need rest. And the reason why, Councilwoman Burns, you have been doing a lot of things in the community, but you do need rest, okay? And Jesus was in the hull of the ship resting on a pillow. And while he was resting on a pillow, a storm arose. As there's some people that are in the city of Flint right now and around the rest of the world, you have either been in a storm, going through a storm, or a storm is on its way. But always remember that Jesus, he is the creator of a storm. And sometimes we have to have some storms so that God can place us in the positions that we need to be in. And they went in the hull of the ship and they woke up Jesus and they said, "Carest thou not? Do you care that we perish, or do you care that we die?" And Jesus, he said one word, and that's peace. Be still. He said peace. And the sea calmed and the storms calmed. I want to challenge everybody in the city of Flint to speak peace in your life. And where there is no peace and you try to give them peace, shake the dust from your feet and keep on walking. But don't leave your peace. Take your peace with you. Have you some peace of mind. God wants us to be at peace. And I'm here to tell you, what's to come is better than what's been. I see you in the future and you looking better. I see you walking in prosperity. And let me encourage you and let me speak life to you. You can depend on God to see you through. You can depend on Pastor Thompson, St. Mark Church, to pray for you. Thank you, Councilwoman Burns. Please,
I appreciate you.
stand on the wall for us.
Listen, I always appreciate you. Yeah, and it is. Yeah, we have to. You're a pastor, but then you're my friend, and I have to make sure at times I keep those,
Yes,
separated.
Yes,
But I do want to say, I do a little bit of house cleaning. People keep in prayer that our council will come together so that we can not only approve St. Mark's, but the other two food pantries that we feed. They feed the community. So there's a total of 3. I will stand on what I say. I'm not approving anything until we approve all 3. So that means the 2 from the 4th ward, and along with yours from the 2nd ward, that I am supporting that. The other part is, have you gotten any money yet for food? Or people keep saying, "Oh, you got 2 million, you got 1 million."
No, we haven't received any money for food, other than people in the city of Flint know that we haven't received any, and they have been given by way of PayPal, and of course I was telling you about Valley and others, and St. Mark. Many of us have been exhausting our finances to be able to make sure that it happens, but we have not received any money. Any money has been materialized.
When did the money was it shut off for your funding for food?
For food?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm not sure, but I
think
can
it was in
tell
September where they cut off because there were a lot of
yes,
people.
that's right. It was September.
September,
Okay.
because I know Bethel has passed.
That's right.
Council did come together to pass Bethel United Methodist Church. That is in my ward, the 6th ward. Now asking that we can get in the 2nd ward, yours passed, because you do a great job. You have many people from the community who come serve and help, put the food. And that food is heavy. You're doing it all day in the rain, sleet, or snow. You have Arthur Woodson will come and help you. And y'all gonna surprise me. I'm not gonna take this. Rich Jones be out there helping. I'm not gonna take that from him. He's out there helping in that line, and he's out there no matter what the weather is. And so we can find something good in what people do. And they show up when you don't have Michael Clack. and keep his family in your prayers. He just
Yes,
laid
please.
to rest. His father,
Mhm.
the great Floyd Clack, may he rest in heaven. He was a true statesman, his
Yes,
father was. So
yes.
keep Michael Clack, his sister, Brenda Clack, his wife, who also served
Rachel.
as an elected official. Keep
Mhm.
the family in your prayers. Mike Clack has really been going through it as a son. There's a huge responsibility placed upon you when it comes to a legacy of your father and of the family. And
Mhm.
so keep him in your prayers. And so what would
Come,
you do with the 50,000? Because yours has not been approved yet. What would you do?
we will feed the community. We will feed the community.
And how
Uh,
many do you feed like week? Let's say a month. What's a roundabout number per month?
per month, I would
Mhm.
say per month about 800. I would say that. And we also have DoorDash. So we have a senior DoorDash program, and we have the walk up. So we have three different programs going at the same time, along with the drive through. And so it's a job. It's something that we're supposed to do. God called us to do it, and we're going to continue to do it until the Lord tells us to stop, or until He calls us home. Can I please say this about
Absolutely.
our sister church, um, Bethel United Methodist Church, and Pastor Nalo, which is the grandson of the pastor that I succeeded, Pastor Dr. J, the late Dr. J.S. Hopkins, and also Harold Woodson, as we've been working together for a very long time. Since the water crisis, at that time we had water, they had food, and we would send them water, and they'll send us food to be able to help the volunteers. So that's our sister church, and we are happy that they received some monies to be able to continue to do what they are doing as it relates to giving food. The east side is the other. Is that right?
Yeah, there's two on the east side. I don't
Okay,
have the
it's two
names.
on the east side.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're praying for the east side as well, so
absolutely.
that the people on the east side could be able to receive of some food. It's just a need here in our community. God bless you, Mr. Clack. It's good to see you on here. I just seen Mr. Clack. We're still praying for you, man. We're here 100% for you. And so I just wanted to say, and then JWC
Is
said something.
JWC in there?
No, I don't know if she's there or not, but I wanted to say something about her. She's amazing. She talked
Yes,
about
she
how
is.
great Bethel United Methodist Church was for her growing up. It was great for me as well, with Nina Scott and Mr. Rump at the Bethel United Methodist Church, as they were trying to send us all to college, to Wiley College and to Holly
That's where
Springs,
she went.
Mississippi, and all of it. So Bethel has really been a staple in our community, a pillar in our community, even when they were on 12th Street, I believe that. And then now they're here on the north side of Flint. So thank you so much. We're going to make it together. All the food distribution centers, we're going to make it together. God's going to see us through. And so continue, please, City of Flint, to pray for our council and our government, that we might move swiftly and move in the direction that God wants us to be in.
Thank you for that. And
Thank you.
I don't want you on here when I get into this budget stuff because some of
Yes.
this stuff is a
All
little
right.
shady.
Yep. Yep. So this Thursday, please meet us. All roads lead to St. Mark. Press
Can
joy.
you put the flyer back up, please, producer Jay? So all say it again, Pastor Thompson.
All roads lead to St. Mark Church, 3020 DuPont Street at 6:30, April 17th, Thursday before Good Friday. Come on in. We'll be
So
right
is
there.
it come as you are?
Come as you are. Please don't put a suit on. Come right after work. When you get off of work, go grab a sandwich and come on into the house of God, and let's worship together. I guarantee you, you won't be. Hey, I tell you what, it's gonna be a blessing, and just
Well,
be.
listen, the revival will be this Thursday.
Yeah.
Bishop Mary Trotter will be at Pastor Thompson's church that he is the pastor of, which is St. Mark Baptist Church in the city of Flint. The
Yeah.
time is going to be 6:30 p.m., April
Mhm.
17th, 2025. I will have the information on my page, and it is on the Facebook page of the church.
Yes.
Okay, and it's on. You can also look on there, but it is up here now. So write it down. Look, y'all, click like, share, boost this out so we can get people into the house of the Lord.
Yes.
Yeah, boost. Yes, sir.
I said, Pastor Thompson was trying to give us a little preview of what we were gonna see Thursday night. I was about to hit that, have to hit that track for it.
Well, stick and stay. And listen, our motto is a lot of prayer, a lot of power, a little prayer, a little power, no prayer, no power. We're anchored in the community. Thank you. Please come and join us.
Absolutely. And again, thank you, Pastor Thompson. I will see you this Thursday. And thank you for everything that you do in this community. Because you are truly a humble servant. And I appreciate that of you.
Thank you. Thank you so
much. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. So listen, if I did not welcome y'all in here, Shanetta, I ain't seen everybody's in here, your name, because it goes so quick. So listen, y'all, the revival is Thursday at St. Mark Baptist Church. So look, hit that like button. We need this together. We need people to be, supporting things that are going on in our community. This is a revival. So hit that click, like, and share button. So y'all, we had a lot happen this week. Well, and last week too. But we're gonna cover a couple things. We're gonna talk about the Flint Housing Commission. We're gonna talk about the budget. The budget is different parts in the budget too, y'all. We're gonna go down the budget because I haven't had time to do it. It's been, life has been lifing. It's been lifing. And before we are going to get into this, I will be collaborating with Dr. Weaver on a show. I think we're going to start it this Tuesday. My show will still stay on Saturday with producer Jay, and there will be another show on Tuesday. I will be on the Urban News Network. So we're growing. We're keeping everything going with our community, and that's what we're supposed to do to grow. So producer Jay, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna tell y'all, Dennis Pfeiffer with the letter. I was shocked. I mean, I'm not going to say shocked, but let me say this. We had gotten an email at City Council. And the email was about money and the Flint Housing Commission. But let me put a pin in that. Thank you, Patrick Jean, for gifting people memberships. We got some stuff that is coming up. And Michael Clack, you are on here. I want you to know, I left you a message. Listen to your message, please. Please listen to your message that I left you, and sending you love. So getting back to Flint Housing Commission. So Councilman Dennis Pfeiffer wrote a letter. The Flint, thank you. MLive Ron Fonger wrote an article. The article said board president offers to replace Flint Housing Commission after questions over $9,000 in cash and advances. We received, someone tipped off, and they sent it to every council person. And each person received that there were some issues. I had no idea Councilman Pfeiffer had continued to follow up with this. And he did. And so in this, it was stating some things which were, some serious discrepancies. We know that there was also over half, and I think I sent that to you too. They lost half of their board, half of their staff who worked for the Flint Housing Commission. They quit. And so there's really been a veil of silence. And I don't know if y'all remember, we was doing one council meeting not too long ago. And as I was talking, and I think I had a question about the Housing Commission. And the city administrator, Clyde Edwards, said, well, the FBI is here investigating it now. And so, when they talk, I listen. And so that was mentioned during a council meeting. So we're going to put up I should have printed that off. I'm going to read the letter so we can put up the letter. Councilman Dennis Pfeiffer did a whole post. He did a lot. And what he talked about was first on his page. And I'm going to read that. That's his letter. So he made some he's been doing this investigating. So listen, y'all, I'm learning what he's doing at the same time everyone else is. I am. So he made a post that has grabbed everyone's attention clearly. So this was 2 days ago, and it's on his page, Dennis Pfeiffer for Flint. And then let's still leave this letter up. So what he stated in the article, we saw the article. So I guess he was fact checking the article, because here is the letter that shows that the mayor knew. It says the mayor lied. This is how he opens it. The mayor lied to M Live. He was aware and said in a verbal conversation, if she pays it back, she can continue to serve. He was also sent many communications, including this. In addition, since at least 2020, she received directly from the Flint Housing Commission the annual meetings. Please see memo. Received $9,036. He says, I have read the memo and I have to say that it raises concerns above and beyond the inability of Ms. Blank to provide receipts. First and foremost, there's a question as to whether the annual meeting is even an eligible use of federal funds. We'll be asking for more details on these annual events. So this just really kind of broke, and there's some other things that's coming out this week. And so it's being investigated, and I know we like to be like, ooh, let's see what they say. She's coming up with receipts. Let's go on, Mac. Go on, Mac. So let's just see how this investigation is coming out. So Councilman Pfeiffer had obviously talked to Mayor Neely and sent him emails, and he is fact checking him. So do we have the article where half the people left? So there are some serious problems. We talked about the Flint Housing Commission, and we talked about the new director that they got, and that there was some controversy where he came from Houston also. So I don't know where all this is at. This is all new. This is all Friday. Chanel didn't send that letter up through the buddy. He did. Big Five did. Producer Jay, the letter, so we know the Housing Commission, I say the board, some of the board, well, half they said left, and then positions, the director left, key positions were gone, and no one really said why yet. So keep your eye out on that as we find out more as to what's going on with that. But Flint Housing Commission losing several key officials. So we can't play it, but we know there's some serious issues. Now they have this new person that's there, and he is over it, coming from Houston. And he came with some controversy. We talked about this some weeks ago. So I don't know what is going on. There's a lot.
Cool.
So, go ahead.
Kawana Mack come to that podium and tell y'all every week, folks, be still in there.
She did. Well, Megan Swanson said, I remember when Liddell was advocating for that person stealing $20,000 and saying she's paying it back. Y'all know, because I asked her about it. Okay. And when I found out about it, I disclosed it. I talked about it. And she says, well, she's paying it back. First time Judy said, well, you can't pay that back. She goes, well, people borrow it all the time and pay it back. No, that's not how it goes. You cannot say, I'm going to go on a Royal Caribbean cruise, put it on your government credit card and pay it back or make payments. That's not how it goes. Hey, Stephanie, that's not how I heard. Wow, that's crazy. Yes. So you cannot do that. And so when that $20,000, then it got down to when Brandy came out, and I appreciate Brandy being transparent. A mysterious $20,000 check came up to pay for her stuff. Where did it go to? Whose account? And so you have 5 people who blocked that because we wanted to have a hearing. We get 5 votes, we're going to have a hearing, because you know what happens? City of Flint is responsible for any shortfalls that they have. We don't do their budget. They have their own board. But if they don't make their payments for that parking structure, the Rutherford ramp, or anything else, the city of Flint is responsible. So when they had 5 votes, they rubber stamped it, and it went away. And that's why we need to make sure we get somebody in here that's going to be held accountable to make sure that they ain't going to do what they want to do and that the people finally get something. Now, Stephanie Rogers made a very good point, because this is what they said. She did have mink lashes, massages, 5-star hotels. She had all kind of luxuries that was given on this credit card and weren't paid back. So when it got a little hot in the kitchen, she even put on the credit card her resume building so she can get another job. So they paid to have her to give a great new resume building service and to charge it to the DDA. And then went to another job. And so here's the problem that we get. Why is it okay that everybody can get their little twos and fews and kickbacks? It keeps happening. It keeps happening. It happened with her. And when I talked about, oh no, she's going to pay that back. This is not a payback system. It's not. And so as we are calculating and going through all of these, this is a problem. If I steal, I can't say nothing to you because we both stealing together. So who gonna tell on who? The crook can't tell on the criminal. There's no way. And so when they're doing it all together, that is a problem. That is a problem. So you can go to Dennis's page. And I'm quite sure because Dennis has been on it. I want to go to next. That's the new housing commission. And I don't know if we have, and so at the bottom it says ex-Houston Housing Authority leader who resigned, an investigation involving questionable contracts lands new job. And guess where he landed his new job? Right here in Flint. Right here in the city of Flint. He landed his new job. And let's watch out and keep your eye on it as this unfolds. Okay, we're going to go into the next thing. And thank you, Producer Jay, because you own the money tonight. So listen, y'all, we're going to get into the camper. We know that if y'all was on the live, the camper got a whole new life. Pastor Jay, I even took some heat for doing my job. I took some heat. So I got a call after me and Dennis did council. Council carpool, when we went around Flint and went to every ward we drove through and showed different things and what was happening. And Dennis, if you're watching, yeah, I saw you say, Tonya, she a police car. She gonna get out and see what's going on. I think he said to be nosy. Yes, I'm gonna get out to see. Absolutely, absolutely. Tay said that you are absolutely right. You're Andre Taylor. That is only in Flint you can embezzle and keep your job or move to a better job. Listen, it's 100% true. So let's get back to the camper. So after we do council, what do you call it? Council carpool, which was so much fun. It was so much fun. And so I went to grab me something to eat, got some gas. And by literally pulling in my driveway, and I get a call. And I had missed a couple of calls because my phone was on vibrate. And so one of them is I had just taken it off and got a call. And they said, hey, Tonya, we got a guy over here stripping a camper, an old camper in the street on the street. I said, on the street. I said, did you call 911? Yes, I called 911 about 45 minutes ago, and so did some other neighbors, and no one showed up. That's when it was traveling. He took it. So do we have the video? I think you did a short, didn't you, Producer Jay?
Yeah, let me see. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Okay. Y'all hit that like button and let's shoot this out. And listen, tip Producer Jay. He got his work cut out. He got his work cut out because I was trying to streamline what I was doing. So look. Let's tip the producer at Cash App $ Producer J1987. It is running along the bottom of the scroll also. So if you can tip producer J $ Producer J1987. Okay, cue up the Sanford and Son thing. Y'all is wrong. Oh, well, y'all wrong for that one. Listen. And y'all know that came up. Listen, not just that after Blight night, talking to the Blight. After that, he actually they landed this new home in the 4th Ward. And somehow I got blamed that I didn't tell the councilwoman Priestley where the camper was. Well, it was in the post. I was not tracking that camper, y'all. I was not tracking that camper. The community has said, you know what? We're tired of people coming here, just tearing up our city. The community tracked it. And then she wanted to blame me because it ended up in her ward. Okay. Is that a steal or is that the short? Oh, no, I see the thing. Our community. You were dumping.
No, I wasn't. I'm picking it all up.
You were dumping.
What do you mean?
Look, people have called me.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this wheel over on this side, over on that side, and I will get it fixed. Okay?
Yeah, but listen. But when you leave to go, you taking this trailer?
Yeah, I'm gonna sweep everything up and I'm gonna take the trailer.
Yeah, but if you look, so can you get the wheel fixed then?
I'm gonna take one off.
Because let me see the trash. Yeah, and we don't want trash out here. It's trash everywhere. I just did my ward tour.
Picking up that stuff and all that too.
Yeah, but this is completely.
I got a broom and a dustpan. I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah, but you how did you get it over here?
I wheeled it, but then it blew a tire.
It blew a tire, and so where do you live at that you're blowing tires?
I'm gonna take the wheel off that side and I'm gonna put it over here. And then
You're missing 2
I
wheels.
only need the one. I'm gonna get it fixed. I promise you.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna get it out of here right now.
Right. Where did you pick this up from?
Right around the corner. I didn't know the wheel was gonna bust on it. But I can throw some of these tires and stuff in here too and get them out of the way too.
Yeah. So where are you gonna get a tire from? Right now, this.
No, I'm gonna take the one off.
What's your name?
Austin.
Austin. Who has you out here doing the dumping?
I was planning on taking the scrapyard and the wheel burst.
Okay. So you're a scrapper?
Yeah. Well,
because this is a mess.
Yeah. Well, this was supposed to all go to the scrapyard, and now I was thinking I could use that money to go get it out of here. But I'm gonna just use the wheel on the one side, and I'll get it out.
So where did you pick the trailer up from?
It's my buddy's trailer. They're trying to scrap it.
Okay. This is a felony, so you need to put a wheel on. And I ain't going nowhere. I mean, come on. Yeah, and look, you got insulation blowing everywhere. Yeah, you can't dump in the city. And this is like, you got trash.
I'm not dumping, I promise. I'm going to pick all this up. I promise. I'll pick it all up. I promise, all right?
Okay, because I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, you can't make this up. I just finished ward tours. Literally. You can cut it, Producer Jay. So the next day I go out with the Blight team. So, no, I'm going to take that back. So put the picture back up where it was literally people started. This video got over, I believe, over 100,000 views. There were 3 of them, over 100,000, because people care about the community. I did not take this picture. So this was seen on Dort Highway. He got the wheels on. He got it rolling. I did tell Blight, look, he's going to tear stuff apart. You need people to work. You need to offer him maybe a job. So he got it rolling. And this was on Dort Highway. So I had time. I don't follow him. But let me tell you, you cannot dump in front of nobody's house that's 100,000, 50. Anybody who care in that community, you're supposed to call 911. You're supposed, if you can't get 911, you call your council person. You do not have to put up with this mess. Just let him scrap. Let him do it. And leave that. First of all, that insulation, that camp was probably late 60s, 19 or early 70s. So the insulation was probably asbestos, number one. Probably. It was blowing all over the place. So he got it rolling afterwards. He did do that. He was not, he wasn't unpolite at all. And so he got it rolling. So do we have a picture where finally rested at? Did I send you that one? Because when it finally rested at, y'all, wasn't no tires on there. He had took them rims off because it's metal. It was metal. So he took the rims off, pushed it back up into, I think they said, oh God, was it Branch Road that they sent it to? They sent it, they put it on. I thought, Producer Jay, did I send you that one? If not, I thought I did. So where it's final resting.
You didn't. I think I found something. If you want me to put it up.
Okay, let's put it up because it was on the somebody on the east side. Burton tagged me. People in the Burton chat actually tagged me. And then it was in the east side. It was on many sites. I think keeping a community informed. You have a right to love your neighborhood and a right to not allow people to come and scrap and do these things. Doesn't mean that he wasn't impolite. He felt so comfortable to scrap an entire trailer. I'll grab it off of the I'll grab it off. He felt so comfortable leaving an entire trailer on the city and did not and was stripping it.
What's up?
Oh no, that's not the one. It's another one. It's bad too. Let me see if I can find it because people tagged me and it was not and I'm like, it's the trailer kind of took a life of its own. It really and truly did. But it ended up, unfortunately, in the 4th Ward, which is what I was trying to do, was to make sure that the trailer ended up someplace where it was it could be disposed of properly. And it clearly did not. It ended up over in the 4th Ward, stripped. And that's just not what we want. That's not what we're supposed to do. So can you put up the blight? I did send you a blight thing. Call blight. Let me see, because that was really bothersome for me. People, I don't care where you live. Oh, here we go. I got one. And so I was being tagged with the trailer because people are tired. You got a right to want your community to be clean, an absolute right. And I don't want it dumped into any part of the city of Flint. Okay, Producer Jay, here it's coming. If you see blight, report it. If you see blight, please report it. So the trailer camper, he was stripping out the wiring in the inside. Blight went over there and he literally jumped out the trailer the second day. That's where it ended up at, everybody. Now, everybody was saying, oh, let them strip and leave it there on the street. Let them strip it and leave it there on the street. Well, he ended up leaving it and they put the street, it's on the east side. They posted it because they tagged me in it. So the trailer ended up, on Branch Road and something. I didn't go over there and look at it. This was not my picture. Someone else this is another person I don't know. They took pictures of it. Brina Liana, she posted it. And she stated that, says the trailer was dumped on Branch and Davison Road. The scrapper was caught stripping it in the 6th Ward by Zimmerman School last week by Councilwoman Tonya Burns. She caught him. There's video on her page. He got out of there and dumped it in here in the 4th Ward. What can we do? Judy Priestley, 4th Ward Councilwoman. Y'all, that was the post over in there. So this was the funny part. I did I don't have low jack on that trailer. So Judy posted, this is her side of town, which, I don't want it anywhere. Judy posted, she was supposed to tell me where it was. Of course she didn't. I'll have someone get it out of there and appropriate action taken against him. Okay, y'all. In the how I know what his trailer, those were not my pictures. I wasn't following that trailer around. The community tired of it, and they stated that it is on Branch and Davison Road. Branch and Davison Road. That's her responsibility. How I'm responsible for telling her where the trailer is at? It's in the name, and the heading of it. It tells you where the camper is at. Branch and Davison Road. Somehow she decided to blame me, but this is not the first time she did this, y'all. I'm telling you. I had said before, and people were laughing. We were having a discussion in council because she likes to project, or no, she likes to lie. I'm gonna call it what it is. And she had said then, because I was talking, and I told her, I said, we have as Black people. I said we have, depending on what when you were born, what you were comfortable with, Black people have been called colored, Black, Negro, African American. I said, I am comfortable with Black. I stuck with Black because back in the 70s, I'm say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud. So I stuck with that. That's just me. I'm Black. And so she blamed then on me when she said she dated a colored man and had Black friends, because I had just made that statement. Me saying I'm Black has nothing to do with you saying you dated a colored man and had Black friends. Stop blaming this on me. Go get that trailer, Judy Priestley, and get it out of there. And your people told you where it was at, Branch and Davison. I did not take that picture. And she did not call me one time. She didn't text me about it. She didn't email me. But I'm going to tell you what she did do, which I think she had, in my opinion, she had the mayor do it. The house at the corner of Mackin and Ballinger. Judy turned in the people for having more cars, and him having, in my ward, she turned them in. Because we know she's all up under Mayor Neely now. She turned that house in where you see the mayor signs at, where he always posts his campaign sign. Judy Priestley turned them in. At the corner of Mackin and is it Prospect? She turned them in and did a blight complaint. And I texted her about it. And I told her, I said, you should have called me, but that's the mayor's friend. So the mayor had Judy doing the dirty work. Judy can't take care of her own ward, literally in the heading, Branch and Davison. Go get the trailer. So for those who were upset, listen, blight is a problem. I don't care where you live. Nobody has any business stripping the trailer and dumping it. Take it to the dump. Take it to the dump. Okay. I don't know if the camper is still there, but it ain't got no wheels on it. Them wheels is gone. They gone. And that siding was aluminum, which is why he was taking it off. He was taking because it was aluminum. So that's how old, they don't make them out of that now. So we're gonna go on down the road with that camper. And I want to say thank you to Michael Kraft, who he actually did a really great drone video, and it was really good. So the next day, so literally I had went out there to make sure, because blight. Was it the next day? Anyway, dude had taken jumper cables and jumped the car jumper cables and connected them to the utility pole. Listen, y'all better report this when y'all see this. When you see car jumper, if you know that they stealing power, and I'm going to tell you why. I've had it go to 2727 Berkeley Street, burn the house down to none but the front stairs, the cement. Everything was gone. And then caught 4 other homes on fire. So when you see this reported, he had actually taken and jumped hot wire the power from consumers' utility pole. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous for him because he could have got killed with voltage, but it's dangerous to people who live next to it. If your neighbors are stealing power and they use car jumper cables, y'all better report them. They're going to burn down everything. And electrical fires burn quicker than anything because they go behind the walls, and sometimes you don't smell them. It's behind the wall, and it can burn your house down in 3 minutes, how quick it can travel. And with Flint being an old city, some of the insulation in the wall, because they didn't throw away newspapers back then. If you had an old house, they filled it with newspaper for insulation. I went to Pierce Elementary School. We used to have newspaper drives, and they would collect the newspaper and shred them and use them for insulation. That's what we did. We had newspaper drives in the 70s, and they would take that. So some of your insulation could be shredded newspaper. That's what they did with that. So I want to tell people, you see that, don't let that slide. No, that's Rose Myro's place. That was arson. That one was arson. So I sent the one with the jumper cables. Did you get that one? I know he got a lot.
Sorry. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, but I thought that was it. I can't find it.
You can't find the jumper cables. Oh yeah, no problem. So if you have those, and I think I have served, and I'll put it back down towards the bottom. So see, this is why y'all see I can't do this by myself. This takes a lot of work and effort to make it work together, because it's a lot going on. So if you see this, y'all report that, because you cannot. It's very dangerous. And I was like, he got the jumper cables hooked to the utility. So so part of the other part of the second day, you got it?
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm about to put it up.
Okay. So the blight team went out there. Y'all listen. They had so much trash in the back of that house. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. The amount of trash. Marcus, all I'm saying is I know that if things are so bad for me and my lights get cut, I'm going to go to my truck, get the cables, and have electricity. That's brilliant. Mark, you're going to better burn your house up and your truck up. You're going to be for real homeless. That is what you want to do, because that voltage come there. I'm telling you, it will. You don't want that to happen. I'm telling you, look, that voltage go both ways. Look, y'all, jumper cables. So the blight team, because the neighbors have been complaining for years, with drug people, they have a drug issue, crime, blight. So do we have a picture of the I call it the blight claw? That's the one that the house got burnt down on 27. That's the one next to it that got burnt down. The house, that one's still set, but that one's a complete total loss. The other one, there was nothing left, no structure, no nothing but some cinder blocks in the basement. Do we have the one, if you can put it up with, it's like the blight claw. And I know y'all, we got a lot of material. Look, I have not been on.
Which one is it, Burns?
It is an overview, and it shows, and let me make sure I sent that to you. It is, it shows all the stuff that was inside of the, you may not have it. I call it the blight claw, because it shows, it picks up all of that stuff. Listen, I don't know what is going. We had the little, what's the name earlier. So listen, I appreciate each and every y'all. Hit that like button while I try to find this. I don't know why scrappers, and you have a right to care about your neighborhood. You absolutely do. I guess I didn't send that one to you. Today has been a busy day. So I apologize to that one. I did not send that one to you. I did not. And I don't know why. But they were cleaning it up, the amount of trash that was coming out of there. was ridiculous. It was literally ridiculous. So, anyways, we're gonna move on. So let's go on to look, don't y'all take Mark Hutchinson's advice about hot wiring your house to, don't y'all do that. Don't listen. Y'all don't have a car and you ain't gonna have no house. So I'm just saying. So that might not be the move at all. So I know Michael Kraft had it on. I don't know what's happening with the pictures, but all the trash that was with Michael Kraft has got it. He is a 6th Ward resident. He has it on his page. So you got the blight reward thing? Because look, somebody should be getting that blight reward. I know I sent that. So you can call. What is it? I don't even know the blight number. Somebody should be getting. Look, y'all got his license plate. You got his number. You got all of his stuff. Somebody should be getting that blight award. I'm just saying. If somebody don't get that blight award, they didn't advertise it, and the mayor put it back up on the city website. Tell them y'all want y'all money because y'all got all of his information. Y'all know where he lives. He is not hard to find. Nice person, but y'all go ahead and get y'all money. You need to be paid for that. I don't want nobody to not get this. I had sent it to you, and if you can put that up. So take a bite out of crime. So here it goes, and I'm gonna read it. So the city of Flint has a partnership with Crime Stoppers and to offer rewards for information leading to the arrest of individuals engaged in illegal dumping. Residents can anonymously report illegal dumping to Crime Stoppers for a reward of $250 to $1,000. This initiative aims to deter illegal dumping and help clean up the city. Y'all got all the information y'all need. Y'all got videos, so somebody get that money. Somebody should report that. Fight blight. Somebody need to be reporting that. Producer Jay.
Shoot, in all honesty, you should get the reward. You caught him red-handed on video.
Look, someone look. I'm a hand that over and gift that to somebody. I'm gifting that to him. Look, call Crime Stoppers. Turn it's a video. You know, he lives on Cummings Street. So where we had the blight team went to clean that mess up. And I'm gonna tell y'all, it was so much trash there. I don't know how they get that much trash, those scrappers in those homes or behind them. I do not know. I'm like, you can put the trash on the curb. They will pick up your trash when you put it on the curb. You do not have to hold it behind your house. I'm just saying. You know, and look, don't let stuff get too out of hand, people. Report that stuff. You do not have to live like that. And let me give a kudos to the blight department, to Arnold Brown, blight manager, to Kamisha, who works on the blight. I don't know what the positions are, and to Harletta Martin, because they've been on it. I mean, they have been on it, and to the other blight crew, you know what you do. I appreciate what y'all do because we had some stuff. Was it Friday on my way to a doctor's appointment? I had told you, I think the day before, someone had dumped this dog fighting rings. They dumped dogs. You'll see them, dead dogs. And they dumped a pit bull on the side of the road. So blight department, there's a strip mall and the 3 homes, all the way down that Sloan Street. Blight department cleaned all of that up. They cleaned up the alley behind the strip mall. They cleaned up down the street. The blight department did their thing. And thank you, blight department. I appreciate y'all. So to the blight team, Arnold Brown, Kamisha, and Harletta Martin, thank y'all for what y'all do and helping to keep our city clean and then to stay on it. If you dump them folks right there, they're not going to play with you. They're not going to play with you. They're not going to play with you at all. So thank you to the blight team. I appreciate y'all. Now, Y'all know I owe them about 4, 5, 6 cakes over there, and I ain't had time to bake nothing. I owe them some pound cakes because Anna Brown keeps saying that one meeting you had her take that cake. I owe him a cake. So my next time, I'm gonna have to bake some cakes and pies for him. Stephanie, you on here, ask Miss Flossie to bake me that cake. I need one cake to start with. One cake to start with. Though that is some of the that is one of them. Yeah. That's after it was cleaned up. That was where that's on Sloan Street, Sloan and Bell. That was after it was cleaned up. But the beforehand, y'all, it was a mess. It was a mess. You had everything that you could think of done. And one of my issues are these open basements without having anything around them. And so one of the things I've asked, can we start placing that orange snow fencing around so people know you have an open basement so that people don't just run down there. So they won't, if you walk and you won't, it's dangerous, and especially as children are out playing now, it's even if you're walking your dog and your dog may not, if a dog walk upon that or running, you go down in that pit, you done. It's they're big open pits and they're dangerous. They are dangerous. Mark Hutchinson said, does Chief Greenleaf realize that if he arrested a few people for blight, that crime will go down? That crime will go down. If someone feels comfortable dropping a camper, they have no respect for the law or for the city. Mark Hutchinson, you are 100% correct. Zero respect. Zero. Lorraine Lawson, hey, Miss Lorraine, I ain't seen you in a while. The city reacts punitively towards the residents. Maybe instead of punishing, we could set up dumpsters in each ward for people that's trying to clean up and no means to take it to the dump. Where is the dump? Well, only problem with that's a good idea. And you can have, if you call the blight department, you can have that done. It's done throughout the city. If you need a dumpster, the blight department works with you. These people are not trying. He was stripping the whole camper. He just was. And the other ones, as a matter of fact, since we've been on here, I got an inbox of someone just dumping trash out along, it is now the state park, Mott Park, just dumping their truck. They must have did some work over in the city and they just dumped it out. Over in Mott Park, and they just dumped it out. And so it's become something, as you said, Mark Hutchinson, nothing's going to happen. Now I like community service. If you dumping, make them do community service. Clean up what you messed up. And I'm not just talking about for like a week. We need to do like maybe some 6 months community service, and depending on how long they've been dumping, or longer, because community service, start making them clean up what they mess up, because that's what we need. They dump everywhere. One thing you'll see over in which I seen over there by Mays, and me and Mays used to talk about, mattresses with bed bugs. They would dump. You see mattresses because the trash people don't like to pick them up because they have to be wrapped specifically. But let me say this: if you put your trash on the curb and you have a big pickup, call priority. They pick it up. There's no reason for nobody to have collected trash in the back. It's just not. If you have a big pickup, put it on the curb, let priority know, and they'll send a second truck. So there is no reason other than people just won't, they just don't care. So, but if, like Lorraine Thompson, if you need a dumpster for your neighborhood, call the blight department. They will set one. We've had them set in certain areas, and they fill up quick. And throughout even my ward, and people, they fill up quick. Where neighbors have old stuff, they don't want to wait or whatever. Because you can have, I forget how, we have, Love Your City is coming up. We can put out unlimited big items to the curb. This is coming up, and I will place the flyer up when they have, but it is coming up. Love Your City. You can do different things. You can drop off paint. You can drop off tires. You can drop off electronics. So Love Your City will be coming up, and you can do all of these things, but no reason to just dump. These dumpers, they just disrespectful. They just disrespectful. I can't imagine on Lake Fenton that somebody would be out there dumping or stripping a camper. First of all, they probably not going to roll up a 1965 camper and sit it on the street with all kind of issues, they're gonna think it looks suspicious. They gonna say it looks suspicious. So I will put up Love Your City as it comes up. Yes. Oh, y'all tip the producer. So now you got to make it. I ain't gonna be able to read it. So May is Love Your City month and the city of Flint. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So you can you can set out certain items at times, and you can go to the City of Flint website. It's going to be up there, but that's when we do it, and it's coming up, and they give you the date and the time. So May is Love Your City. You can put out those items. No reason to dump. Timmy said a lot of dumpers could also be out of time. Absolutely. On the cuffs of where Mount Morris Township is, First Ward gets a lot. They get a lot. They get a lot. Okay, so we're going to go on over there. Y'all, did you watch the budget hearings? I missed, was it the first budget hearing? Oh, no, that was the council meeting where JWC and Pfeiffer. It was interesting. So we're going to talk about some interesting facts. So we're going to walk through this together. So the budget hearing comes. Can we kind of look, as Pastor, can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? So the budget hearing comes the same time every year. Every year it's the same time. So page 61 through page 63 tells you what the budget, page 61 to 63 tells you what's to happen, what the budget is. So I sent that to you. Did you get that? It's under Article 7, Finance in the Flint City Charter. I don't want nobody saying, well, Tonya Burns is just making. No, Tonya Burns is giving you the facts. The facts. And the facts are, y'all, these budget hearings have been rough. They're rough. So I'm going to read this. I want everybody to get a grasp because we are still in budget hearings. So on March 26th, the mayor presented his budget. And so, which he is responsible to do by the Flint City Charter. So page 61 through 63 is we're going to talk about the budget. Every year, this time comes like clockwork. So it says on or before the Monday, and then I'm going to start down number 5. On or before the first Monday of March, the mayor shall submit a final proposed budget to the city council for the next fiscal year. The proposed budget shall be posted to the City of Flint's website and be available for public review at the Flint City Clerk's office no earlier than 10 days after the presentation of the proposed budget, and no later than 20 days after the presentation of the proposed budget. The mayor and the city council shall hold a public hearing on the proposed budget. The notice of hearing shall be published in a newspaper of general circulation or as otherwise provided by law, and shall include notice to the public for the proposed budget is available. Yeah, I know I got my charters is raggedy. I think my son threw away my real raggedy when I got 4 of them. So on or before the first Monday in June, the city council shall adopt a budget with or without amendment for the next year. The adoption of the budget shall be accomplished by resolution. Adoption of the budget shall constitute appropriations of amounts specified therein for the funds indicated and a levy of the property taxes specified therein. The final adopted budget shall be posted to the City of Flint's website and be available for public review at the city clerk's office. Section B. With the presentation of the final city council budget, that's the final. We're going to skip over that. We're going to go down to C. The budget shall provide a 3-year financial plan of all City of Flint funds and activities with the 5 years of revenue projection and except required by law by this charter. Y'all, they never did 3 years. I ain't seen it. Or maybe the first year. I'm not for sure, but we're going to watch the budget together because we're going to be in this process for a minute. The budget shall begin with a clear general summary of its strategic goals. Did y'all hear strategic goals in there? No, I'm just saying. Y'all gonna have to help me out. You're gonna have to help me out. The budget shall begin with a clear general summary of its contents, shall show in detail all estimated income, including the proposed property tax levy and all proposed expenditures, including debt service for the ensuring of the fiscal year, and shall be so arranged as to show comparative figures for actual and estimated income and expenditures of the current fiscal year, and actual income and expenditures for the preceding fiscal year. It shall indicate in these separate sections: 1, the goals and expenditures for current operations, detailed for each fund by department or by department, organization, units, and programs. Purpose or activity, method of financing such expenditures, and methods to measures, outcomes, and performances related to goals. 2, propose longer-term goals and capital expenditures detailed for each fund for each department by other organizations with the practical until when practical. The proposed method of financing each such capital expenditure and methods to measure outcomes and performances referred to the goals. And 3, the proposed goals, anticipated income and expense, profit and loss for each utility or other enterprise fund, that's the water, y'all, or internal service fund operated by the city of Flint, and methods to measure outcomes and performances. Okay. The mayor said that he's got, and we're going to play it. The budget brought in, we got 64 million in general fund. We're spending 68. So, producer Jay, I'm gonna let, and he's not done. We're in budget hearings, y'all. He gave us 1 minute to ask him questions. 1 minute. 1 minute. So it's just at the point, if you're giving us 1 minute to ask you questions, you're telling me, number one, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. You know, you're kind of telling me you don't want my vote on the budget. If I can't talk to you and you're the mayor and this is your budget, I think you're kind of telling me you don't want me to pass your budget. Because if we can't talk to you, ask you questions, which according to the charter, you know, there should be some detail. And if we take it in 64, spending 68, and then we got some, he went through and said we have some philanthropic dollars. What do we have a philanthropic dollars category? I haven't seen it. If so, let's play and let's cue it up, producer Jay.
Recognizes those priorities. Budget snapshot. General fund revenues totaled $64 million. Also, general fund expenditures totaled $68 million. One of the things, when I sat in that seat as a council person for about the better part of a decade, I understood what administrations used to do in those budget presentations. Sometimes they overprojected with the general fund revenues and underprojected in the revenue expenditures. We played it very, very tight. The $64 million in what you see are the dollars that we had in hand and in pocket. Since that time, we have more revenues based upon the grant applications and the grant opportunities that we had as a city of Flint with our federal government, state government, and also our philanthropic community. And those dollars are still rolling in. So our general fund revenues is a little bit more than $64 million. And also our general fund expenditures is a very robust look at what we have in obligations. Many of you are going to be having dialogues with our budget hearings, and we're going to be talking about some of the things that have expired, the debts that we have in front of us. One of these debts is $1 million that we have with the 67th, 5th edition of the court system, which a contract was signed by the emergency manager. The emergency manager signed into position $1 million to be able to be paid to the court system with Genesee County. That MOU was up of September of this year. We are not obligated to put that forward this year. We put it in the budget as far as one of our expenditures in good faith as we negotiate with the county, but definitely we have to do so as a good body, and having good, fruitful dialogue is very important. Our court systems, our judicial system is very important to the city of Flint and also the county. So we looked at it, but we definitely, these things are not obligated in contract, but we put it as good faith in our expenditure. But that is $1 million there. No increase to our millage rate. As I talked about the Headley Amendment, we're capped at a certain level with our millage rate. So millage rates are not going up inside the city of Flint, but it's a combination and a formula based upon the value of your property. But you are capped at a certain level here in the city of Flint. Millage rates are not going up. But definitely what is going up inside the city of Flint is about the personnel to provide a high level of service for residents of this great community. Right now, we're going to be looking at, in this 2026 budget, taking our staffing levels to 648 people. That means we can provide a high level of service, whether it's in the water, street maintenance, services for residents, police, and fire. Our residents deserve the best. And we're moving that into this budget. And in this great budget, we're providing that high level of service to be able to support the needs of our community. And we look at general fund revenues, and we're looking at
Okay, we can
some of the
stop
other
right
places
there.
that we're generating.
Okay, so I said, now y'all listen to that, because we're going to talk about some things. I don't know what relationship we think we got over at the county, because they just, and I don't blame them, because y'all know what? I got the paperwork. I mean, they couldn't fill out an application. Why do you think that the county is going to negotiate? Could not. Y'all, that's a little later on down. Now he think they're gonna say, hey, $1 million, we gonna give it up. That's part of their budget too. We're gonna negotiate it. We got a lot to get into. So can you put up what his budget is? I did a screenshot to you. It's a very poor one. It should be like towards the bottom. Let me see. It says it should have his budget snapshot. So, there we go. Thank you. So, leave that up while I'm talking the whole time, please. So, budget snapshot. Now, I can't read. I need that big, please. So, budget snapshot. General fund revenue, $64 million. That's what's in the general fund. Thank you. That's still the same size. Just leave it like that. We good. Thank you. So general fund expenditures. So we have $64 million. General fund expenditures, $68 million. So we're spending more than we got. No increase to millage rates in a plan to not increase utility rates. Well, the utility rate plan is that $2 million, which, as we asked questions, y'all, it came out that some was calling it a slush fund, that $2 million is not just for rates, that there were other things that they wanted to do with it. Now, I'm gonna switch this. Y'all know your girl be ready. Not one of my questions was answered, and this isn't even in the administrative consent order. This is the water distribution system optimization plan. Not one question could be answered. These are serious things. Not one. So look, I've done my homework. Okay. So not one question was answered in that. So the $2 million we're talking about, that, what I think they need to do. There's no plan. You at budget time, the charter tells you you're going to have this every year, same time. It gives you a month and it tells you when you have to have it. How are you not prepared? How are you not prepared? We can't do hypothetical. Hypothetical, I might want to be 25, maybe 25. I may not want to have gray hair in my head, or hypothetical. Now you can wish for anything, but the reality is, number one, general fund revenue, we're taking in $64 million. General fund expenditures, $68 million. We're spending more than we have. And then he said, hey, we're going to work it out with the county. County said Flint can't even do their own paperwork. They can't. They cannot do their own paperwork. Then he's adding departments. My question was, where and how are we paying for these departments? We have 2 new departments that we paid nothing to run. They say it's the Eric Mays Center, but y'all know it's just Mays Center. And Eric's name is not on there, just the last name Mays. Because if he was really trying to name it after Eric Mays, it would have been Eric B. Mays, as in Bradford, Eric Bradford Mays Center. it would bear his full name. It does not do that. So when he was over there at the senior center, asking for money, we're going to get into that. We now picked up the cost of that, which was never in our budget. We did not have to pay for any of the programming, any salaries, any fringe benefits. We now have a director. We have an assistant director. Not saying that these aren't nice people, because they are, those people. Then he said he's going to have a staff of 6. Where is this coming from? 64 and 68. I mean, you don't have to be good in math, y'all. I'm just saying. You don't have to be okay in math. That's basic math. Two numbers and subtract them. And so, Mark, leave that up. So hold on, let me do this. So the city says no increase to millage rates and a plan to not increase utility rate. I can't afford my water bill, and I can't afford to keep paying for attorney fees because the mayor keeps keeping me a mess. I can't afford it. I'm a public servant. I'm on the budget. So then it says no increase to millage rate. You can't increase them, but it didn't say no special tax assessments. You're going to get one, Flint. He didn't say no special tax assessment, because we take it all the way back. And I showed y'all, we cannot afford priority waste. We're going to have a special tax assessment. That, or they're going to try to take some ARPA to balance it. We already took $2 million to balance the ARPA fund. That was last year. So it'll be balanced. Next year is something else. We're supposed to have 3 years worth, according to the charter. I'm just saying. And it's not happening because we don't have 5 votes. Why does it keep getting away with this? 5 people who rubber stamp. Why they're frustrated? Because we asking questions. We literally had department heads show up and say, I'm not prepared to answer any questions. That's serious. So you cannot increase the millage rate, but what you can do in shortfalls is receive a special tax assessment. When I talked last year, I'm gonna have to go back and find that video with Mr. Moore. He stated, and I was talking to him. He said, well, you will have to get a special. I know we will. So there's no way for us not to do that. And we're gonna get into them trash cans too, y'all. We gonna get into that, because during budget hearing, some people told some fibbers. And this is the problem, that you had an administration where they were not prepared. They were not prepared. I remember Pastor Miller telling me, Pastor Herbert Miller, who is now in North Carolina, he was the pastor at Metropolitan Baptist Church. He said to me, why do you expect him to keep you safe and the residents safe when he can't keep the people on his street safe? I was on the phone with him. Gunshots was going on. And he was like, I gotta look at the phone. And you could hear him in the background. If the mayor's street ain't safe, do you have an expectation any of the other ones are? And that is really where we are at. And so it's disappointing for me. It's disappointing because they came here and were not prepared. And we're going to go through that. So now look at this. He's slick with the no increase to a millage rate. No, but you will get a special tax assessment. And y'all remember, me and Mr. Moore went back, and Mr. Moore was just like, if Mr. Morris is left to tell the truth, you get the answers. If he's told to not say anything, his brain doesn't process that way. He's just kind of, and then we don't understand anything Mr. Moore is saying. And I like Mr. Moore. But he ended up having to say, well, we will definitely have to have, will be a special tax assessment. It will. So the mayor's plan of word. Okay. I don't know how, and I don't know. Where's our grant budget? You have a shortfall. The auditor stated that the city, and I've said this every year since I've been on council, we need to have a grants budget also. It is not the responsibility of the city council to just trust the administration. We've been taken over by emergency management before. We need to have a grants budget. Why don't they have a grants budget? Why is Judy Priestley, the interim finance chair, asking him for a grants budget? Judy, that's your job. It is not Judy's job to be his friend. It's not. She's so into, I'm gonna be your friend. Oh man, I know you're gonna call me. That's not what you're there for. Where is the grants budget? Where is the grants budget? We don't have one. And what is this philanthropic thing? Is it a budget? Is it something we can see? All these hypotheticals. What is it? We need to see numbers. What do you got right now? Not what you think you might get from people, because the mayor been falling out with them in the philanthropic community. He talked about Ridgeway and the Mott Foundation. Y'all remember it in the book with Jordan Sheraton. His book, he talked about it. Then did a retraction. Well, I think actually Mott wrote the retraction for him to align with theirs of his misappropriate behavior. But he went and talked about the philanthropic donors. Who does that? You need every philanthropic donor because you have some problems with what the city general fund and general revenue. But he's increasing. When we started on council, we had 543 people working for the city. He's saying it's 648. Who is these 100 and something people, 105 people? Who they is, Harpo? Who are they? And where they working at? Because we can't afford it. Water rates were supposed to be increased in 2016. Mayor Dr. Weaver had stated, and now I know better because I'm telling you, the lies grew. She left him a $24 million fund balance. Listen, raise my right hand to God. He said that was money that they didn't even know that was there. Y'all seen the articles? I'm like, huh? But that wasn't true. Let me tell you why. They made sure that they were taking care of it because they had to abide by this water distribution optimization plan. In that, we're supposed to be doing $6 million worth of water main water main repair replacement every year. It tells you what we're supposed to do. They had no answers. She left a $24 million fund balance. He's telling you're not going to get a special assessment. We're going to be special assessment to death. And look, your girl going back to work full time. I'm serious. I know my mother is just about to, because look, I can't afford the water. That's killing us. I can't. And along with and my attorneys ain't cheap. Not cheap. I just shared them. Y'all have met my attorneys. I've had Terry on, I think once or twice. He's been on here. And he's been on the news. And so I shouldn't have to keep fighting for the people to do right, because the city attorneys, we don't have. Now, y'all seen me ask the city clerk, you need to have your own attorney. She doesn't have her own attorney. And that needs to be separate from me. That's a problem. It's a conflict of interest because the council is not with the administration. Well, let me take that back. 4 of the council is doing what they were elected to do, which is to be the purse strings and to be the balance of power. 4 of the other ones are rubber stamping. That's what they're doing. So we will be special tax assessed a lot. I'm still paying off attorney bills, y'all, because your girl, I can't afford the water. I can't afford the attorney bills because I'm trying to tell everyone this is why. Why is the finance chair not doing her job? Mayor, look, I'm an accountant, or whatever kind of accountant she is, but I don't know how she accounting. 1 for this person, 25 for the other, because I'm not feeling this. And people talked about her paying cash for that kitchen. They want to know how she paid cash for that kitchen. Okay. And she didn't have the money. They said 5-6 weeks before, they told her she had to borrow from a relative $600. But you come to get the whole kitchen paid for cash. And yes, Attorney Kim told people. Attorney Kim told me she paid cash for her kitchen. Yeah, that word went around the rumor mill. So, but if you are with the administration, she was quick to say to me when I said Liddell Lewis got $75,000, we need to have her reporting. Basically, what did she do with her $75,000 that her organization got? She goes, well, she had a fiduciary. Yeah, but on that resolution, she was the nonprofit it was going to. Don't play games, Judy. Stop it. You're part of the problem. She's a problem because she's not doing her job. Not just that. She want me to look with a camera. Not my problem. But she needs to understand what her job is with the legislature. And I did tell her doing that. You need to understand. She's negotiating stuff for the clerk. That ain't your job, Judy. Not at all. Not at all. So, so listen, you can do it, page 61. Watch for the special assessment. Mr. Moore said, we're going to have to shore up for the trash, reduce services with priority, because you heard the priority guy say that. I asked him that question. Was it last year? A little over a year ago or whenever. He said either they would reduce services or Mr. Moore said a special tax assessment we would have to have. So those are going to be your choices. And I wanted, where's the grants budget? When you're doing the budget, because his budget isn't matching, that's why you have a grants budget. He giving these, we not saying what grants are you getting? What grants have you been approved of? We haven't seen it. And so at this point, he got a problem in having this budget adopted. It's a problem. So we gonna go on. So look, I read it out to Charter because I want to make sure we get good information. So we're gonna go on to the police chief budget hearing. We're gonna go on to that. So police chief had his budget hearing, and there were some good questions that were asked. Mine was really about crime, morale, asking him, what are we going to do about wages? But we're going to start. I'm not going to play Councilwoman Mashat's portion because she was talking about trash cans, and those are some of the stronger concerns on hers, and Christmas lights and Christmas inflatables being left on the lawns for too long. And so those were her residents, some of their concerns. She needed to be over there by Stewart School because they didn't have shootouts all in that parking lot. Okay. They've had to do lockdowns before of the Brennan Center. So you got to serve all the people. Look, your girl will go in there, look, you selling drugs, the scrappers, the drugs, the squatters. I'm dealing with people in my community and I want to get them services. That's why you will always hear me say, I want a comprehensive public safety plan. I do not believe in just arresting people. We have opioid money and no opioid plan. I want us to get the help that this community, because there's help out there. And I don't care what nobody said she was the over the commander at the Michigan State Post, Yvonne Brantley. She knew she was like, you know what? My troopers are pulling over people with busted taillights, no car seats. They can't afford their license plates. Do y'all know it was grant money? She went to a seminar or she went to a conference in Shiawassee County, and they had money available for these things. And so guess what she did to help families who were struggling? Because if you can't drive your car, you can't go to work. If you can't go to work, you can't feed your kids. And so she got grant money to where she was helping the community. She was like, there's money out there to help them with. And she brought those resources back to Flint. She's from Detroit. She brought those resources back. So if you had a busted tail light, guess what? They got it fixed. If you had a car seat, they didn't write you, the ticket would go away. They would bring you a car seat. Someone would bring one from the post, the Michigan State Post. She was running it. She was doing triage on the city that has been having problems because it's just the little thing. The parents who didn't have milk for their kids and coats, if the kids didn't have coats or little hoodies on and they look in the back of the car, she was actually buying coats. Okay. I'm not telling you what I think she's doing. And I'm going to tell you, she would take calls. But when I was on 911 hold, because we didn't have any officers, she answered me on her iPad. She knew if I was calling late at night, I had already called 911 to create an official record. I have already probably waited longer than I should, but she has answered me in one night shooting on Thomas Street. And she says, I didn't even say hello. The call came through. Give me the address. She never said hello. Just give me the address. Give me the address. Give me the street number. Tell me what's going on. After I had given her all of that, troopers were there in like 2 to 3 minutes. It wasn't no time. By the time I got over there, because it was a shooting, they had shot a house up. I've had 2 homicides on that block of Thomas Street, but they're all associated, acquaintance crime. She had the sniffer dogs. It was 4 gang members had shot up a house on Thomas Street. It was a gang. And she was there like lickety split. So answer me when I'm calling on your iPad, because if I'm calling you at 2:00 in the morning or 12:30, I'm not calling to say, what's your recipe for that pound cake? I'm calling you because it's serious. It's serious. And so when I went there, a bullet hole had went through. It had I can't remember how many times bullet hole. I think it was 39 bullet holes had pierced the home. There were 4 shooters. And it ended up being more than that. I take that because the bottom of the house too. And then they had gotten some had gone up into the roof. Literally just maybe 2 inches, maybe 2 to 3 inches above from where a 3-year-old would normally be sleeping in his bed. He just happened to be upstairs in the bed with his sisters. That bullet would have been right if he had moved, if he had been in that bed. So when I'm out here doing what I do about my community and saying we need a comprehensive public safety plan with a Flint gang task force, a Flint one. We need good intelligence on the street. I can't tell you how many kids have been shot. The children who have been shot last year, which they didn't have a number. And then they said, well, numbers might be a little off, gang related. Imagine if we didn't have a gang problem. None of them kids would have died. We wouldn't have any fatalities because they were gang related. If we got a handle on the gangs, we wouldn't have the fatalities with the children. And this is serious. And it's serious. And I hear people making jokes about it. My kids go home every night. I'm worried about your kids. Okay? I'm worried about the kids in my community. I'm worried about the kids who ain't never had a hug or felt loved or felt important. Those are the children that I'm concerned about. If we didn't have a gang problem, there wouldn't have been any fatalities with the children. Maybe one accidental, maybe. But we wouldn't have that. And this is a problem. And we have it year after year. And friends of mine that I know, people that I know. And so I just don't know. Lenny said, heavy on the gangs. I lost my friend to gang related activity. He was shot in the neck. Oh my God. I'm sorry for that. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen people who recovered, and changed their lives, that when you're doing something at 15, 16, they recruit them when you're young because they go to juvenile. You aren't generally doing the same thing, except for it's some fools out there that are still doing the same thing in their 50s. We got some fools, y'all. But I'm going to tell you, there's people who actually second chances, they believe in them and they change their life. And I'm speaking to that because my dad, I always say I got 2 dads. And he was like, baby, I did a little bit of time. This is when I was young. I was into stupid stuff. But he went and worked in the shop for 40 something years. He raised his family. He took care of everyone. I got 2 dads and I love them both the same. They are both amazing. You do some work. He supports me. Both of them support me. But I can tell you when he did his little do or whatever, and he did it in the 60s. He did it in the 60s. And he changed his life, and so people can change their lives, but not having the services when you have a gang problem is egregious to me. I mean, like I said, has he arrested anybody from October the 14th with all kind of video in city council chambers when there was a conspiracy to incite a riot? Has he arrested anyone from that? The answer would be no. But his answer is, well, it's been a thorough investigation. Okay. Let's play the video. We're going to let it speak for itself. Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
First of all, this 10 minutes is ridiculous because everything that your department covers affects how economic development and people want to come in business in this city. A lot of things. One, how is morale?
Morale is that's our main focus, is the morale of the rank and file. They're the backbone of the department. Mm-hmm. So morale, I could say, staffing is directly related to morale. So now that we're hiring more officers, so officers are getting days off. They're not getting, mandatory to work overtime because we're short-staffed. So the more people we hire, the morale increases.
And I don't want you to think, Chief, that I'm being disrespectful to you, because I'm on 10 minutes with a whole year of problems.
Yeah.
So we didn't have this time limit before. The ladies' bathroom.
Yep.
Did we ever get that started?
Yeah, so I had a conversation with Lee Osborne, was it yesterday? I guess a resolution has to come before, they've done the estimate, so a resolution has to come before city council. My understanding, that's coming forward.
So the ladies' room has not been done, renovated since its creation, which it was part of the men's, and it's bad.
Yeah, it is.
It's bad, okay? So starting pay. So Flint police officers' entry pay is $20.92. You top out at $30.71. University of Michigan is picking off our police officers because they start at $28.34 and they top out at $43.20. What are you doing to increase pay? Hey, I ain't got but 10 minutes. I got to come straight down the middle.
That's a great question. So I'm fighting for higher wages.
What is fighting? How are you
We
doing
have
that?
we have a contract. We have contract negotiations coming up.
Okay, because you're losing good officers to U of
Yep.
M, and you're losing well-trained officers. Your officers, how many calls do your officers reply to in a shift? An average. I know it's like, what, 17, 19? Yeah.
that's
And
correct.
and other municipalities have like 4 or 5. So your officers are very well trained, and they should pick them off. I mean, so you got to figure out how to keep them here. One of the things that I did support, well, I didn't support that. I support taking your money from your gun and drug confiscation, giving bonuses to your officers, and that'll encourage them to go get into target crime more. What are you doing with that money? Besides paying for a center over at on Clio Road for water payment. I'm going to say, I will always support officers first, and I have. That money should go to the officers because your wages are terrible. And you're getting picked off. I mean, they're picking you off left and right. Everybody, not just U of M, every municipality is higher than yours. So what are you doing with that drug confiscation money, and how much do you have in that account? I don't know if Mr. Moore or Shay could look that number up while you asking what we're doing with it.
Yeah,
Or answering?
Well, I know what we do with it. We buy equipment and overtime.
Okay.
That's my primary.
How much is in that account,
I'm
Mr.
not
Moore or
sure.
Shay?
I believe right now we have, once it's in the neighborhood of 800,000.
800,000?
Right.
And how much has been spent out of that in the past year, in 24, last fiscal year?
I can get that number. I don't know that off the top of my head.
Okay, can you email me that?
Yes.
Also, thank you. How many unsolved homicides do you have?
I can't give you an exact number.
How many
But I-
open cases for detectives do you have? Over 10,000,
No,
Over
I wouldn't say,
5.
no, I wouldn't say it was over 10,000. No,
over 5?
could be. I can't give you an exact.
Okay, and I know you have, when your numbers that are going up, the people to understand those the criminal sexual conducts are going to, because you're just now processing the rape kits. And so that's where your increase is at in that area. Am I
You mean
correct?
the Saki grant?
I don't, no, I'm talking about when you do your graph that tells you your.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, and that's because, is that because they're just now, how many are they processing now with the rape kits?
Well, every rape kit is processed. It depends on the victim, if they want it processed or not. So
I
you're
think
right.
there was a backlog in it before.
Yeah, that backlog has been cleared.
Oh, that backlog is clear.
Yes.
Okay, so the other thing, October the 14th, we had a conspiracy to incite a riot.
Mhm.
I haven't heard anything about that. I get calls every day. Had calls last night. I harassed my harasser last night and called them back. I did.
Okay.
So what are we doing about this? I mean,
Well,
we got
it
a
was-
public state. Look, I tell my residents, if my case ain't solved, don't think maybe yours is. Because we had a whole conspiracy to incite a riot with 12 people here. Haven't heard anything.
It was thoroughly investigated.
And what happened? Because I don't know. You haven't contacted me about it.
I would say, I would describe it as ongoing, but it was thoroughly investigated.
Okay, because I know we got pictures when you had with Billy Dantzler, with Paul. That was a whole court case. The video's all over social media. You got cameras everywhere, and I haven't heard anything. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. I ain't gonna stay stuck on that. Traffic. There was that in my ward on Westcombe University, we had a motorcycle accident where motorcycle meets car, and unfortunately he lost his life. Residents I know we've talked about back and forth, no speed bumps on there. What are we doing to decrease the traffic? Because people in Flint, they think it's out of bond.
Well, we have decreased the
speeding.
Yes, we have. We decreased. We measure that by the number of personal injury accidents we have each year. Compared to this time last year, it's been decreased. As I stated, we've procured technology by the way of speed trailers, where we're deploying those all throughout the city.
Yeah, you got one right at my street.
Yeah, we have speed bumps, things of that nature. And on top of that, we have zero tolerance traffic enforcement. We have a detective in charge of that. He's a go-getter. He works hard. He's made several arrests. He's had several initiatives.
Okay, I hate to cut you off, Chief. You know my minutes is dwindling down. Gang task force. These young folks are killing each other every day. There are shootings. I don't know how many shootings. I have been over there had a chance to find out how many shootings have we had. These kids are killing each other. The parents are afraid to talk about the kids, and it's so what are we doing to stop the gang violence? These kids shooting, they don't care who in the house. How many homicides or how many children were shot last year, and how many of those were fatalities?
I'm not sure the exact number.
It was over 10 though, wasn't it?
Our response is the same as we started back in 2021 to decrease the gun violence, and we had success at that. We have pockets of juveniles that are involved in this gang violence. We identified them. We know who they are, but we're dealing with juveniles again.
So how do you have a gang task force?
We don't need a gang task force. No, we don't. There's several task forces already exist. We have FBI Safe Streets Task Force. We have our Special Investigative Unit. There's several task forces already assembled.
So the FBI runs the Safe Streets Task Force?
Yes.
And what is the other one?
Our Special Investigative Unit. You have the ATF. They have a task force. We all work in conjunction together.
Can you, I know our time is limited. Can you email that to everyone? Because there was just another shooting. Mott Park and thank you for the good job you did on the one on Frank Street. I appreciate you with that, but now we got another one, and these are 15, 16-year-olds that are doing these shootings. And when they shot up one house, they shot a senior citizen house up right next door. They're not good shots. And they don't care who's in the house. So it's not working, is what I'm saying.
It's working.
You think it's working?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Our efforts are working.
So does anybody know how many children were shot last year?
You said 10. I think it was under 10 that were shot in fatalities. But I also wanted to add that.
Can you email that to me, please?
Sure. I also want to add that our traffic division has done a phenomenal job in terms of the reduction in PI accidents, accidents with injury, as well as the reduction of speed. The electronic devices has played a major part in that as well. In addition to that, the administration has created a program where we have peer mediators that are going through courses in school to help reduce violence in their communities. Is that in every school? And in their schools.
Because our children we have almost 3,000 here and 2,900 here and another 12,000 that aren't even in our district.
This is the start of the program.
Look, this is a problem.
May I finish that?
Go ahead and finish.
This is the start of that program.
Cut it off. That was my time, y'all. How you think I'm gonna pass a budget when y'all don't have to ask questions? We're talking about children who have lost their lives and they did not know. We got a gang problem. We don't have no gang task force. But people come out here to try to villainize me. You know how many moms and dads and aunts and uncles and grandmothers I talk to? If people want to quit thinking Flint is a joke, we got to get people, they have to be serious. So this is the wages. These are the wages where Flint, can you make it big for me? Because I'm gonna try to read from the screen, but you have to take me off. Ooh, it ain't gonna increase. So listen, so let me go and pull it up, y'all. And I took a Benadryl before I started. I may have to take another one because it is not working. It is not working at all. So these are the wages. So we have a lot of talent, and I'm gonna say thank you to the officers.
Try it now. It should be big.
I need bigger than that. My allergies are bothering me.
That's all I got there.
Okay, I can pull it up and make it bigger on mine. That's no problem. I can do that. I just got to go to it and find it first. So yeah, there we go. My eyes are itchy. So and I think I sent you some with the Michigan State Police with their wages. So University of Michigan Police start at $28.34. U of M, and a lot of our officers are going over there because of better wages. City of Flint starts at $20.92. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna get to that one next. So U of M Flint Public Safety top out wage is $40.20. Flint's top out wage is $30.71. So that was why what I'm saying, if we have got that fund where we're confiscating the drug fund, forfeiture fund, that what they should be doing is take that and give our officers, until we go back to negotiations or whatever, give them a bonus so that we're not losing them. We need to do something to get creative to keep them here. We have a gang problem. Now, he did increase from 2 people to 10 people on the special units task force. But we know that the special unit task force, that the mayor was dispatching them out to go to Hasselbrink. So if it's any seniors out there trying to take flower pots or benches over to their new site, then you'll get all 10 cars that the mayor will send out. So the special units, we need them, number one, to be more in the neighborhood. We have a gang problem, and it shouldn't have taken this long. Before I was elected, 2020, I have been saying, because you can see. And so as these kids get older, they recruit. So if I have a 15-year-old and a little brother or sister, or because it's girls in it too, that's 9, and 5 years go by, she's probably, or he is going to be recruited in that gang too, because they see their sibling in it. They see their cousin in it. And so when we have these problems, we need to have a plan, in a comprehensive public safety plan. And I'm going to put out what I didn't put together, because it's something that works. We allowed this to go on too long. Imagine if they had worked on this with our no gang problem last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. And then what he said, they do a hotspot policing. Okay. So those are the way. So the if you can put the other one, so the other one is going to be what the wages are for Michigan State Police. Michigan State Police. So Michigan State Police, based on wages and an increase for Article 30, the tentative talking agreements, bargaining 2024 for Michigan State troopers. So a top paid trooper will earn approximately $107,000. A top paid trooper, Michigan State trooper, will earn about $107,000. A top paid sergeant with the Michigan State Troopers will be paid approximately $123,632. So they're into 6 figures. I mean, we can't compete. And so this is what I'm saying with the wages, and to get serious and get creative. And we don't have a gang problem. We didn't have a conspiracy to incite a riot on October the 14th in city council chambers, and we did. Not one person has been arrested, nor one warrant has been issued. Now, come on, you got cameras going everywhere, in the council chambers, in the hallways, in front of City Hall, and you ain't did a warrant. Come on. So part of his public safety plan was, look, you're supposed to, if council members have been threatened, I have been threatened. And I asked Chief Green, I said, well, what if I said, I'm requesting, right? That's like me. I'd have to take me every day to get it right. Not funny to me, because you don't have somebody calling your house every day. But what do? I still show and buy his public safety plan. The chief of police is to make sure that I get to and from city council by a police officer. It ain't happened. I haven't said anything until I keep it going. I show up because it's about my community. So when we look at this and to be so cavalier and brush it off, no, not. So also, I want to state too, charter page 62. It says that in every department they're supposed to have, they're supposed to come there with their proposed long-term goals, their capital expenditures, detailed for each fund by each department organizations until they have not. What was his goals really? He just said we don't have a gang problem. How about you had 12 people there with a conspiracy to incite a riot, and you haven't had one warrant? I haven't even talked to the person. I sent him the person that called me. They said, "Oh, we can't find it." No, I need him to send it to an agency that can, because you know what? I'm not gonna keep messing around with Chief Greed. I'm really at the point. I'm pissed. Because it's not a joke. Because when we going over this, they send their little, I don't even know what you call them, Thundercats or whatever you want to call them. They little folks. I don't have time for that. But each and every day that I show up, I get y'all heard the calls. Y'all heard the call. He hasn't arrested one person. You heard him say he don't need a gang task force. You don't have a gang problem. What city are you living in? I know he lives in the city of Flint. Come on. So y'all heard that. So we're gonna move on. Y'all. So hang in there with me, because your girl didn't do budget process. So we're gonna go on. Producer Jay, are you still with me? He there, but he quiet. So let's talk about. Let's put up the fire chief. So we have got Arson. 4th Ward receives more fires than anyone else in any other ward, and they are. And I asked the questions. What are we doing about arson? I do know I was informed that the former or the deputy fire chief was terminated. I think his name was John Stamp. That he's no longer with us. I don't know what's going on with that. And so I'm gonna say it was alleged. I have not had a chance to check into it, but it's not. They did hire a new person that they had him do an interview with on the news. I can't remember the young man's name, but he's supposed to be doing this job. So if you don't ask the tough questions when you live like this, how people are living, it's not normal. This isn't normal. I will not normalize their abnormal behavior. I will not normalize that they come to these budget hearings unprepared. I will not normalize that they can't answer basic questions. I will not normalize that when you got people living in fear and you saying, hey, you don't have a gang problem. Okay, arson. I showed y'all the block that just got burnt down, Sloan Street. Not to start. Now, there's actually a video of it, and the fire department does a good job. And I'm not going to say that me and Chief Wiggins have had maybe some little ta-ta-ta, some tit for tats or whatever. But my questions are, I have a right to ask you these questions, and they're not disrespectful. But I think that when we have it, that he has a right that at this point, my gender and my color has nothing to do with the ability for me doing my job. That respect goes the same way. So me and him did we did a little huggy out, but I want to some of the answer. Now he got a plan now, but play the video. Chief Wiggins,
yes,
arsonist. I mean, do we have, what are we doing? There is an arsonist, probably more than one.
You said what? Arson?
What are we doing about arsonists or arson fires?
Very little at this point, to be honest, very little. There was an arrest about 2 weeks ago, but don't tell them I said it, but they almost stumbled upon this person.
Yeah.
And they lodged him in the jail, and they're waiting to get a warrant. But arsons are very hard to find, to prosecute, because here's what happens. On the east side, where we have vacant, dilapidated property, a lot of times I believe it's the homeowner that's burning next door or in the area that's burning the houses down. and they know when to do it. And when we get there, the house can't be saved. And so we, subsequent, it burns to the ground. But it's hard to get people to come to us about arson because it's so easy to get away with. So arsons are way down. But we were happy to have one of our people to go to the police academy and graduate from the police academy. He's over at the police department and he's learning all of the systems of the police department. So
Is that Dana Daniels?
no, that's John Smith.
Okay.
John Smith. He came to us from the state of Michigan a couple years ago. And so
Okay, we can
he's
cut
police
right here.
certified and he will be able to go direct.
So he now has a plan. John Stamp is a young man. And so he has now put together a plan. And this is how budget hearings are supposed to go. Judy giving us, technically, if all 8 of us, we get 5 minutes apiece to ask them questions for one time a year. Budget hearings had always been done before. You got a limited time because you got questions. Arson is a problem. Just like the guy hot wired his car, Marcus got me car thinking. He hot wired his home to the utility pole, and the utility pole, the house in the burner down and caught 4 of the houses on. So we have to make sure that we get people and create, good plans. I love a plan. And this administration came with no plans. Chief Wiggins did go back and now has a plan. And I love to hear that. So I'm gonna give him kudos to that because that's a part of the budget process that is we're in the community and we're talking. I haven't seen the plan yet, but when I get it, y'all know I'm gonna share it with you. You know that I am. So let's go on to one of the next ones. Let's go on to we're gonna kind of skip around. Worst application ever. So I think you've got that one. So I was not here at this meeting. Producer Jay. So we're going to go on to, and that's with 810 Flint. Xavier, you do a beautiful job of doing some of these. I appreciate the ones that I am able to use in my platform. So I appreciate that part and what you do. So Producer Jay.
Yes, ma'am. I was getting it ready.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Can we, and then while you're doing that one, the next one, if you could cue that one up, these don't have to be in sequence. You can pop them up and I can go at them. So y'all listen. Worst paperwork ever. So let me give y'all before we play this. No, we're gonna play the video first. Let's play the video first because you got it queued up. Sorry about that. Let's play the video. Thank you, Debbie Clark, for the $5 super sticker. Thank you.
For the Eric Mays Flint Senior Center, as well as for the McKinley Senior Center. I have a packet for you that contains both applications, as well as on top is my SWOT analysis of each of the centers. So after reviewing both of them very thoroughly, I found both applications to be incomplete and missing many of the needed documentations. When reviewing, it was found that the senior center applications both were missing professional liability insurance and workman's compensation, the health inspection, a valid building code inspection, specifically for the City of Flint Center. The building does not meet the required code regulations as of 10/18/2022. They were also missing the City Council approved minutes and application for the application and budget. The following program requirements that are required by each center were not addressed: lunch, nutritional education programming, legal services, transportation, social services, support groups, and volunteerism. There was also no plan for the procurement of the My Senior Center equipment, which is required. That is the main database that we use to show the participation in each center. There was also an unrealistic projected number of seniors that each of those centers wanted to serve. They were both stating that they were going to serve over 14,300 seniors. That's the total amount all 16 centers serve each year. I was also concerned that their budget that they submitted was not clear, and it was well over the amount of a level 2 or a level 3 center. And one of the other things that was concerning with the city of Flint, there were multiple fire code violations as of 12/26/24, another fire inspection on 2/24/25, and December's violations were still not addressed. It's very similar with the McKinley, with the exception that there absolutely wasn't any building code fire inspection or ADA compliance information submitted. They pretty much mirror each other. The other concern is that with the McKinley building not being in operation since 2002, there are 2 centers that are within 2 miles away from that center, potential center, bringing in a possibility of duplication of services. So therefore, based on these issues that we have here, it is my recommendation that the 2 applications not move to committees to be considered for funding.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Starting Commissioner Wayhill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This was obviously unexpected.
Y'all heard that like I did. And I'm not laughing because it's funny, because it's not. So thank you, that's where I'm going. Yes. So in the letter, I want to tell you, thank you, Lynn, for senior services. And she sent me a packet and says, dear, regarding the Flint Senior Center application review. She said, after careful review, Genesee County cannot recommend the approval of the City of Flint's application for senior center services for the Mays Senior and Community Center and the McKinley Center. We have identified following concerns that prevent us from proceeding with the application. And thank you, Commissioner Delrico Lloyd. Him and I had a great conversation. So I want to tell him thank you for making sure I received the questions in the material, because this is, and I remember y'all, where are we paying for the senior center? Because we don't have the money, and clearly, look, they don't have it. Flint don't have the money. And by this application, we're not being approved. It says we have identified the following concerns that prevent us from proceeding, not even approving, proceeding with applications: incomplete application and missing documentation, professional liability and workman's compensation, health inspection, valid building code inspection, the Mays Senior Center and the McKinley Center, fire inspections, American with Disabilities Act compliance. And y'all heard the list of other stuff that she ran down. And this is serious. Now, remember now they said, now I'm going to tell you, they cited, and this might be why he got fired. Because I believe it is alleged that the person who was doing it, just Michael, what's his name? Because if he did inspector, he got terminated too. So city has a building. These are fire inspections. They have failed them. They failed them. And so remember, you were hearing them say, we're not going to use, she make $50,000, $50,000. Okay, well, the pay for a director should be about $84,000. And so she was grossly underpaid for the amount of work and the stress that y'all put on her. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So Hasselbrink Senior Center budget, there was nothing in the budget for programming, food, nothing. Remember, they said, we're not, we're going to take all that money if we get funds from the county, and what we're going to do, we're going to not use it on salaries. It's going to go 100% to programming. 100% to programming. Yeah, that's a lie. This was all wages. Wages of, there we go, y'all. It was all wages, and for fiscal year 2026, that was Hasselbrink Senior Center for fiscal year 25. So when we look at the fiscal year 2026, I mean, everything was they I don't know how they're gonna do it. Look, it ain't even gonna be approved, but I want to know how we paying for this. When I asked the question with the budget hearings, what was it under? I mean, let me guess, y'all know what it is. They didn't have an answer. No answer. No answer. And Lynn told you that. And where are these 15,000 people going to the McKinley Center and to the Mays Center? And she said in the entire county we don't have 15,000 going to all of them collectively together. So look, who did this paperwork? Yeah, who did the paperwork? Because whoever did this paperwork, this is embarrassing. You're taking improperly completed applications, presenting them with an organization, and asking for $281,498.75 and $164,000.791.15, and you don't know how to fill out paperwork. Now remember, they going over to the county to say, in that budget, that $1 million, we're going to negotiate with the county, and that 64 million, that we collected, and it's 68 million. But in September, that's going to be the end of that. That was underneath emergency management. And with that being underneath emergency management, we're going to negotiate. Okay, look, the county is saying, we about our business over here. The county commissioners are all saying, we about our business, and your business and how you fill out the application, dear sirs and madams, you're not doing it correctly. So if we can't fill out application for this, why would we give them a 1 million if they say hypothetical is going to, we're going to negotiate that? They have a budget too. That means if we're not giving them the 1 million anymore, then it's going to be a 1 million shortfall in their budget. I'm just saying, and this is not what we should be doing. So budget time right now it's a lot. So on to the next one, y'all. Producer J. Look, by the way, y'all, tip the DJ. Cash App $ Producer J 1987. Producer J, Cash App $ 1987. We done been on here, and I'm sorry we on here so long. I am so sorry. So tip the DJ. It is down, Producer J. It is down. Thank you. Please be kind. Donate to Cash App $ Producer J 1987. This is a lot of stuff, people, and I'm putting the stuff up here so that you can have it and we can see it. And I want to know what's all these attorneys, how much we spend on attorneys. Look, I ain't even got into that about why we don't have the check register up, and why hasn't it been put up, and why were we paying Councilman Leon L. Alameen in his name and not his business name? Why? And so people have been talking about this. People have been talking about it. I know, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be very honest. When Beverly with Lewis with the Hasselbrink Center, I would not support her until I knew her 990s were right, and I showed her how to get to those. Because I'm not gonna get behind you and you frivolously spending money, because those were the allegations they were making, that she was frivolously spending money, and her salary was just so much. No, her salary is $50,000, and she works a lot, and she works hard. Then they show up with 10 of the people that could have been on the gang task force, that we don't need a gang task force, could have been on the gang task force, but they busy worried about senior citizens, packing up and taking flower pots that were outside that was bought with their money, because the city of Flint didn't pay any money towards funding, programming, or anything, or salaries. City of Flint never paid anything for Hasselbrink. Never, never, never. And so I don't know how they think, the Mayor Neely thinks that they're going to say, we're going to just let you be, we're going to negotiate that 1 million, take it from our budget. This is going to be interesting. Maybe he got some, but I also want to see, where's that philanthropic dollar? Because look, I need that philanthropic section to be paying some of my attorney fees. Okay. That's what I need them to do. I need that philanthropic category that I ain't seen nowhere. And look, it's not in the charter. It's not in the charter about a philanthropic fund, but we do need to have a grant one. There needs to be a grants budget. And I've said it every year since I've been on council. You need to have a grants budget, because when you present a budget at 64 million that we received and 68 million, we need to show where the shortfall is going to be made at and taken up for. Where are we going to make sure that you have a robust budget, like you said, the best budget ever? Because right now, this is full of poppycock. So let's play this. Y'all, if you tip the G-Day is down at the bottom along the scroll, please take time to all 100% of the proceeds and profits go to the, they go to producer J. Tonya Burns gets 0. So let's play. Let's hit the play button, please. So the water fund, so it is supposed to collect about $5 million a month, correct?
Correct.
And so if we're looking at where we're at right now, we should have collected 45 million. Do we have 45 million collected for that fund? Because it is supposed to be 60 million for our fiscal year. Am I correct? Okay.
We've done a cash flow analysis of what we expect the fund to need during the year, which assumes that we collect revenue and we also spend the money. And we do know that with this, that we will get through 2026. And we'll be in 2027 before we really have to do anything.
Okay. So what I'm asking, I'm going to say one more time, or maybe you need to get back with me. So where we're at, we should be about 45 million collected. Do we have that?
I don't have it.
I don't think we have that. If you're asking if we have 45 million in the bank, I don't think we have that in the bank right now.
We have about 18 million.
We have about 18 million in the bank.
Hey, Ariel and Candace, because I'm sorry, I've taken your, yeah. So Mr. Moore, I'm gonna leave that one right there because you don't have the answer. We have, when is the last time that we have had a leak test for the city? And how much of our water are we losing? Is it over 50%?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've not dealt with that side of things.
That's why I need Mr. Miller here. And because, we those are questions. And so I don't know how long and I've got more, and not to be pundit, but so this, you're making it really tough. Can you get me those answers? So listen, we have a $10 million, $9.2 million meter that registers our water loss. And it actually tells you, it's brand new.
Right.
And it should be able to tell us how much is our water loss, how much are we losing that we pay for. That's my time.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the first round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Just so you know, Mr. Moore, I'm a hell no on this, but I'm going to use my time. What based on the $5 to $7, what are you estimating the average bill to be?
That's the way I calculate. What I calculated is, I know that the $2 million is what we're estimating we'll need. I've averaged that based on the number.
So I'm going to stop you. How much do we pay GLEWA? It's $11 million. I'll answer that for you because I know you don't know it. It's $11 million, but over $5 million goes to the debt service. So for actual water, we only spend $5 million. So 5.9% of that $5 million is $372,000. That is what we are being charged additional. So how does $2 million equate to $372,000 of actual charges?
The water fund has not had a rate increase since.
We're not talking about that. I'm asking you, how does $2 million only last 1 year if the increase is only $372,000?
It's more than just water. It's the overall costs have been increasing in the last 10 years.
So that's, you're breaking news, Mr. Miller or Mr. Moore, because according to everything is we are only facing a rate increase because GLEWA is charging us. Now, are you saying on the record that we have to increase all of the costs across the board?
I'm not saying we have to increase. I'm saying they have increased over time.
No, what I'm saying is, so this $2 million isn't for just the GLEWA increase. We need to pay for other things. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that our cost for operating the system has increased over the last 10 years.
Yeah, our cost for everything is increased.
For everything, yes.
I get that. So how much is going for the other things and how much is going for GLEWA? Because by you putting this into a fund and trying to not be transparent, how are these dollars being spent?
By fund, the way I would define it is we're talking about an account number in the water fund.
So, and I asked you this last time, why are we creating a fund and not just doing a budget transfer to the water department?
If it makes you more comfortable, budget transfer would work just as well. I don't have a problem with that. It could be either, we were trying to make sure that people saw how the money was being used, but if you prefer to just transfer it, that also works.
So why was a fund even brought up?
It was just a way to make.
Because to my recollection, this is the first time that we've started a fund in my tenure on this seat where we've started a fund out of the blue instead of doing a budget transfer.
It would be the way it would work is go into if you set up as a fund, it'd be basically a line item in the water fund.
Okay, so
that
Mr. Moore, can you give me a breakdown of how this $2 million is going to be spent?
It'll be spent for the general expenses of the system, including water and including all other expenses.
That's pretty general. I would like a written breakdown of how much money is going to be allocated for GLEWA, how much is going to be, is some of this money going into sewer?
No.
So once again, if half of our water bill is sewer and half of it's water, how is the average rate increase $7? Are you trying to say that the average is over $200 for our because if only water is increasing and none of this money is for sewer, how are you coming up with the $5 to $7 increase? That would assume that the average bills are $200.
I'm not sure I understand how you calculate that, because if you look at the number,
smart, that's
if you look at the number of customers and divide it by the 2 million, you're going to divide that by 12, you're going to come up with the 5 to 7 a month.
Which would be a 15% increase on water? I mean, I'm assuming the water bills are average $100 in.
Thank you.
Let me cut it. Okay, y'all, this is hard to watch and to sit through. So one of the things is that a lot of this, it tells you in this plan, the water distribution optimization plan, also administrative consent order. And so this is where because I read. And so understanding, and then there's people smarter than me that, hey, I have learned to ask the questions for people who work in the field. And I appreciate the help that they have given me, because they still love Flint. They do. And so that was hard to watch. But let me tell you this. I want to tell you where city councils, there is a budget increase. Y'all hold on to your wigs. If it's a T move or a she move or a shake and go, hold on to it. Just as long as ain't one of them that look like you wearing a groundhog on your head. Okay. If it's one of the groundhog ones, hold on. They increased, Liddell and them increased. They wanted it in the budget. We didn't vote on this, but it's in the budget to increase city council's travel from 15,000 to 25,000. They put in an increase for travel, to travel. Now that's 64 million, 68 million. Y'all, I'm showing y'all the numbers. But they put in for an increase. We don't have an independent attorney. So even if you put in for just the amount, I have not used any travel money yet for mine. Liddell, Judy, and Candace do. They have. It's times with what we need to do is tightening our belt straps, just because there's many programs that people are losing. I've got a married couple who both lost their jobs since Trump has been here. You know, DEI is you getting ripped. Lost the people in DC. So it is not only a time for strong prayer, but it's a time that we got to start understanding and to be compassionate. And then they have to sell their home. And so people are what they're going through, and they're increasing. When we got $4 million shortage in a category, a philanthropic category, I know this is crazy. You don't understand. So they increase. They want to increase travel. Remember, we had a $30,000. They want to take $30,000 from ARPA in a resolution and increase it, and that voted it down because you know why? We didn't have the 5 rubber stampers, and so this is why whoever they supporting, do not support them because you're gonna get another rubber stamper. Do not. And so I don't have anything but the pension fund. I'm gonna talk about the pension fund another time because that pension fund was a whole nother thing. That when I asked him, well, what happened to the 50 million? He says, well, I don't know. I said, well, what do you mean you don't know? He says, well, it went away. I said, well, who did it go away with? He said, the lobbyists. I said, they took away. I said, I know. I said, because the lobbyists called and told me we lost 50 million of the 220 million that was to go to the pension fund because of them dealing with Mayor Neely. And I'm telling you, so they just gave 10 million, but the 50 million was lost. And I said, what are you trying to do? And he says, I'm trying to get it back. Okay. You can't, I'm not making this up, y'all. And this is the serious thing where people are, because our it's not working. And so when people reach out and say, what's going on, and look, I need to talk to you. Remember, we had $20 million that we needed for the project for the $66 million line, the line that runs parallel across, and it runs from the treatment center and it runs across. It was $66 million, and the city of Flint was not responding to a $20 million grant. Arthur Woodson called me. I spoke to someone, and we had her come to council. $20 million. They were just saying, oh, we don't need it. 20 million. I'm telling you. So, okay, let's go with the next one. Y'all, let me tell you, look, tip producer Jay. And he put in, if you have questions, put them in the chat. Y'all, I ain't reading that chat. You're going to have to put them up. You have to put them on the screen. So let's go on to the next one. So look, city council getting a raise for travel. Please tell me what Liddell, Judy, and Candace is going to bring back, and Leon. What are they going to bring back to the council to share? What are they going to bring back to make us a better council? And y'all residents, you get thrown out. Y'all get thrown out. You do. So it's some it's some documents after this. After this goes, after we play this one, I need you to put those documents up. We're gonna talk about these no bid contracts and the trash cans too. Okay, can we put that? Let's y'all look. Hold on to them groundhog wigs and let's hit play.
So Lauren, here's my problem is we bid this out, and I think Weinstein wins every year. And they know once they submit low hourly rates that they can continually write their own paycheck because we don't push back and we don't get things quoted. That's my issue. I'm going to support this, but I think we have to look at these continual change orders that we roll over with the same vendors. We're basically giving them a blank check. because they win and say, oh, I'm going to give you $30 an hour because I know come June, those additional projects are going to come up and I can make my real money. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but when we continually give these contracts and the no bid of what they're going to do, the perception is they got a no bid, they can double the price that we would get on a competitive bid.
And I think it's also important to understand that there are multiple projects throughout the year too that would come under a bid threshold as well, which would be 10,000.
These aren't. I don't want to speak.
Some of them are that would add up to that total amount we give them every year though. So you have to understand too how inefficient it would be to do a bid process individually for every piddly project that is sometimes completed throughout the city, if that makes sense.
No, it does, because, you know, the admin time might be 30 hours and that equals X amount of dollars, but
No, you're talking weeks on end for a bid process is my point, to hold up a project if we were to bid out all of the small
I'm
piddly
talking
ones.
internal labor that you would spend putting a bid out.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
So I am in agreement with Councilman Pfeiffer. And I know that we have people who question Weinstein gets everything, it seems like. And they always continuously bring us change orders. And that's a problem, serious problem for me, because we know there are other electricians that aren't able to get in. And they're continuously bidding low, and then it comes back, and it's like they're protected. And this has got to stop. It's the same thing as with re-rig for the trash carts. They were $250,000 cheaper. And yet we went with a cart company that was $250,000 higher. That made no sense. So there's problems, and this guy was emailing everyone. And so when we're looking at Weinstein, we've got other electrical and small electrical contractors. So some of them, yeah, I think it's worth the time, because if you're looking at, what do you consider small?
Well, I'm saying anything considered a small purchase per the city purchasing ordinance would be under $10,000.
Okay. But
that would require a competitive bid at that point.
Okay. And so if we're looking at contractors who are new, or even in a city where we have minorities, that would include minorities, whatever falls into that pocket. You know, I think that we need to give them an opportunity, because right now they've taken over. Every project has them, just about. I mean, they got a whole new fleet of vans. I mean, they do.
Well, with all due respect, we're one of the smallest contracts that Weinstein has statewide. I mean, you can't say that we're buying their trucks when they're on a multi-million-dollar project at the Frankenmuth Water Park. So, I mean, there are certain
I didn't
things.
say we're buying their trucks at all. So don't put words in their trucks. I'm not stating that. I would have said we're buying them, but you said it. You said it. I didn't say that. What I am saying clear is that re-rig was $250,000 cheaper, and you quit taking their calls. I am saying that.
I never got a call from them. I was not in charge of awarding that bid.
Well, okay, well, I don't want to get into that. I think that we have to look at the change order. We're constantly getting them. And a lot of these bidders who do business with the city of Flint come in low, and then they come back and they just expect council to. Okay, y'all, now I'm gonna go back to put up the document, because she does have a mouth on her, okay? And she has lied on me, okay? And she lied on Councilman Mays, okay? So she was coerced. They created a non-bullying whatever, and this was in July of 20th of 2022. And so in this, it was to Eddie Smith, HR, from Lauren Raleigh, purchasing manager. And so she says to Mr. Smith, in light of recently, now let me say this, she also, that's the email. Yeah. She also, I need the other one of the letter, and it should have a city letter here. So she also, Dennis, they had another false or fake complaint that Amanda in the water department filed against Dennis. See, this is how they go after you. And when I get so tired of people lying on me, if you want to know the truth, pick up the phone and answer. Pick the phone up. But if you choose to relish in lies, I'm going to let you lay in your squalor at this point. That's where I'm at. So Pfeiffer had one with Amanda told a lie on him that he had threatened her or whatever. So she put, Mr. Smith, in light of her recently hitting my 1-year milestone of the purchasing manager in the city of Flint, I deemed it necessary to draft an official council complaint to HR documenting my unfortunate council experiences over the past year as a city employee. I officially started my career in Flint in July 12, 2021, hired by Shelby Freyer, previous chief finance officer. When taking the job, she informed me that the attendance of some council finance committee meetings would be required, and which at that time were virtual. Since my date of hire, I have attended nearly all council meetings and finance committee meetings, either virtually or in person, required spending countless hours outside of normal working hours without additional pay to us. As an exempt employee, you get a salary. You signed a professional service contract. On countless occasions, I have been a target of council attack. She's lying. I only talked to this girl one time. One time when during trash hearings, where that trash contract was shredded. One time. And I asked her, I said, well, Shelby, whatever that girl was, Lauren, I really don't have a lot of questions for you. I said, because I was actually at the opening of the trash waste companies, their bids. I was there. I wasn't on council. I was there. And I said, so I don't really have a lot of questions. It's on video. You can hear nothing. I really didn't have no questions for her, but this is doing trash. But she decided to go compose a letter and lie. She says, on countless occasions, I've been a target of council attack. I've been subpoenaed for an investigative hearing involving a bid process that was conducted prior to my employment, in which hours of my time were spent collecting, organizing, and printing hundreds of pages of documents which were taken out of the purchasing division's printing budget without reimbursement by council, and was also interrogated publicly while being falsely accused of ill intent, specifically by Councilman Mays and Councilwoman Burns, rather than the attorney they had representing them to carry out the hearing. During the hearing, many threats of exertion of power were verbally displayed by council members in an effort to intimidate. This conclusion of this hearing resulted in no corrupt findings and cost the city thousands of dollars in funds. On several occasions, I have completed procurement strategies in accordance with the City of Flint's purchasing, and which I have department have had heads have collectively believed to be in mine is blurry, to be in the best interest of the City of Flint. I've been blindsided by council members in public forum who deem my working efforts as non-transparent, unethical, and taking advantage of the purchasing ordinance and its thresholds. I've witnessed other employees being discriminated against, whether it was towards their race, personal character. Can you discriminate against personal character? I mean, what is she talking about? Or simply the way they responded to a question. Okay, well, she just outright lied on me. And you can go back, the video was on there during the trash hearings, and we were very polite and cordial to each other. She don't come to council all the time. Her stuff don't come up. And so this was just a lie. So this is your purchasing manager. So when I mentioned to Rarick, she said she hadn't talked to him, she hadn't returned any phone calls. So let's put that up where the guy, where we show she's in the email. She quit taking his calls. Those little trusty old trash cans, we're paying more money for them than we should. Simple as that. And so when she tries to say that, which do bear the name of Mayor Sheldon Neely, they do that. So this is in, and you'll see at the top where he's sending it to, good afternoon, Miss Riley. To help put our engagement throughout this process is perspective, I thought I put together a timeline of events. As you will see, we have been nothing short of responsive in every interaction with the city of Flint of its supporting this new program. In fact, I was told by Miss Griffin, I miss it. Yeah, I need to pull up the whole email. Anyway, so the current vendor that has been in touch and engaged with the city since the release of the article announcing your new program back in 2023. So people have asked, what happened to the trash cans that had come to City Council when we were in the dome? This was this company, y'all. They were supposed to work out this deal. They believed they were going to get it. And he said they were to come. I thought it was the same company at first until we started. They came to council. So up to this point, I have still not received any further clarification onto why the IRP process was deterred and ultimately how the selective vendor was chosen when we fully met every bid requirement and provided, I was off by $10,000, y'all, and provided a $260,000, $925 savings. $260,925 savings. He produced a timeline. I'll do a whole show on him because I'm going to show you how this purchase department been working. I'm going to show you how it's been working. Okay. And so we pay. Now we know, can we put up the trash can? Now, the other company was $260,925 cheaper for these trash cans. Can we put the trash can up? Did we pay $260,925 for Mayor Neely's name to be put on his trash cans? Because they didn't go with the other company. They didn't go with the lowest company. That has been in existence for, oh my God, I forget how many years. They are the largest company one of the largest company in this area. The rollout, they said, would have been actually quicker because they have 5 factories that build these trash cans. They have 5 of them. And so it would have been quicker, according to him. And so, and this was what we got. So for $260,000, $925, we get a trash can that bears the name of Mayor Sheldon L. Neely, Mayor City of Flint. When he is gone, his name will still be on those trash cans. Re-rig was $260,000, $925 cheaper. They was cheaper by $260,000. So as you see, Mayor Sheldon A. Neely, City of Flint. Here's another thing. Tiffany Hanier was investigated by the FBI because her government care. They care. And so what happened with this? You know, you cannot use city funds to campaign with. He used these trash cans to campaign with. We had a cheaper company that was doing it, and it was $260,000 cheaper. So look, we're on the road. There goes the trash cans that bear his name. Did we pay $260,000 more to put his name on the trash cans that will be here forever? Forever and ever. I mean, it's a good, place to put your name. It's on the trash can. But this is not what should be doing. This should not be happening. So $260,000 cheaper. I'm just telling y'all how they do. Now, you wonder why we keep losing talent. It's because everybody won't do what he tells them to do. He won't. They won't. But he's got his faithful one. But she is a little snippy. Now, I got a whole time, and I'm gonna do we got a whole show. We're going in the same stuff that she sent to me. They sent to everybody. Everybody has got this. And why? I've talked about it before, but we're gonna dig deep into it with these expensive cans. So let's go on to the next one. Please, Producer J. Y'all, by the way, tip Producer J, Cash App, $1987.
Which one are you saying?
You can put up whichever one you want.
I just looked through the inbox. That was the only 3 that I had.
Oh. I'm sorry. And I don't know why sometimes this stuff don't get sent. We done covered a lot. Oh, no, we got one more. Oh, hold on. I'm going to send it to you in the bottom. Okay. So tomorrow is a council meeting. We got a few more things to cover. It's a council meeting. Do you got to download that?
Which one?
I just sent you one where our meeting, and it's 810 Flint. The council president behaves like a toddler.
Oh no, I don't have to download that one. I thought you were talking about trash cans.
Oh no. We moving on from trash. You know,
Okay, all right.
We're gonna get into that company later. Well, that man, I'm gonna show y'all his whole timeline where he called her, and he's got the time. Every time he called, he's got the time.
So you want to go to the Liddell?
Yep. So these are some of the conditions, y'all, in which we work on. And it's tiresome because they dare to block, and they block and they lie and they lie and they block. And that's just what they do. And it's tiresome. It's tiresome. And so you get tired of just the garbage. No pun intended. But so let's play this.
That young people should look forward to and not dread, especially over here on the north side. I don't know how we're living over there in the 8th Ward. I don't know how we're living over there in some parts of the 5th Ward. But I know that people are getting homes shot up. Young people are dying daily. And it's crazy that we have colleagues that are, this is not the first time, but the second time they're talking about blocking money.
Please pause the time. What's your request?
So this money is only going to help your ward?
Well, let me tell you where the violence is coming from. Let's see. Great point. But let's look at the stats of the people that's been dying in these streets, coming straight from the north side, Mr. Pfeiffer. And if you were in the community, you would know something. But as you drive around in your Tesla truck, clearly you don't give one damn about what goes on about the youth over here on the north side. And so as I'm saying,
pause the time. So what we're not going to do is keep yelling out. So that's your first warning. That's your second warning. See ya. Bye-bye. Officer, she is removed from this meeting. We're not doing a back and forth. Go ahead.
It is sad that we have to fight tooth and nail just so we can help save young people's lives, because out of school time is important. Out of school time is important. These summer jobs last year, what did they do? They kept youth off of the street, gave them something to do. Like the councilman in the first ward said, it provided a level of mentorship. Again, we do apologize that over here that we're not driving on the Tesla trucks. We're not living in big houses. That's not what we're doing over here.
Please pause the time. What's your request?
We're also not driving around in brand new Cadillacs either. What's your point? What's your point? At no point.
I will tell you, it's not his time. It's not his time. It's not his time. It's not his time.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do, because this is what we're going to do.
Sir, they call black. He just said, fuck me. Did you hear that? Just like he jumped at me last meeting.
Okay, everybody pause. Mr. Pfeiffer. Mr. Pfeiffer. Mr. Pfeiffer.
Mr. Pfeiffer say fuck you. You heard it.
Hey. Everybody stop for a second. You are removed from the meeting, so you need to leave. That's your first warning. That's your first warning. Ma'am, that's your first warning. That's your first warning. That's your first warning. That's your second warning. You are removed from this meeting. That's fine. You do that on your way out the door, though. Correct. So, listen. It's getting real personal around here. And so what we need to do, hey, pause. Okay, hey, stop.
I see what kind of time we on Mr. Gates' life, just like you called me a mother. I will continue to talk, but you continue to talk to the man.
Oh, can everybody please pause? Stop. Everybody stop.
Madam Chair, can we take 5 minutes?
Ms. Sparks, we'll recognize the fact that the time is at 3 minutes. We will take a 3-minute break here.
Okay.
I mean, they said, "Welcome your hands up." Just like your brother trying to step to me, just like you yelled at me. You got a lot of energy to be out. That's why you got such a birthday. That's why you're not getting sick. Not sitting up front when it ain't war. We see you as the type we can choose to come to work. And I hope everybody else heard you say, "Yeah, I'm welcome to your life." And that's what you said the past 2 hours. Wow! No, I can put you being tired.
We're in the second round of discussion, and she had 3 minutes and 3 seconds left. Please continue, Dr. Lewis.
Thank you. And thank you so much for apologizing to the residents, because I have yet to receive an apology from the councilman in A4 for saying F you on the microphone. And this is the kind of working environment that we have. We have men that say these bad things to their colleagues on the record and think that it's okay. Councilwoman Worthing dealt with the same thing when she sat there. That's why she refused to run again.
Point of order.
Please pause the time. Councilwoman
Chair,
Winfrey Carter,
she's
you
not
have the
being
floor.
germane to the resolution that's on the table.
Thank you, Councilwoman Winfrey Carter. Dr. Lewis, please wrap up your point and go back into the agenda item.
I definitely will. But I just had to state that for the record. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so on the north side, like I was saying, it's a little different than other wards. We have different needs, different situations. And so these dollars that are supporting scholars to have summer jobs, it's important. It provides money for the household. It provides money in their pocket so they don't have to indulge in illegal activity. It gives them something to do with their out of school time. And it provides positive mentorship. And this is reversed, not a fucking Cadillac. Oh, racist dick.
That was a lot to unpack. I'm telling y'all, the trash cart thing needs to be investigated too. Because I'm telling y'all, the guy with Rig, I think Brian, I don't know, maybe we'll give that to our friends, investigate and advocate. Maybe they need that. Maybe we'll give that to them. Because Tanya Burns, I don't want. So let me be clear. Let's get back to this council. Tanya Burns is not at that council meeting, y'all. I had a whole medical emergency with my mother. Then when I thought I was coming, it was a whole raccoon that you could hear, scratching. I'm telling y'all. Dennis and Jerry, thank you for holding your composure. So first of all, where was the decorum? Where was Candace? Where was Liddell's decorum? And where was Candace's decorum, who was chairing the meeting? Where was both of their decorum? Now, we're the leadership. That's not exhibiting good leadership. Where was her decorum? Liddell cussed at him first by saying damn and just hostile and just in a rage. She was unhinged. She was unhinged. She went after him because she finds it comfort in going after a white man trying to use race. It ain't gonna work, Liddell. Stop. You need to stop that. And she needs to stop because you're according to you the acting president, because we ain't picked one. But we're saying don't stop the business. It's just a mess. It's a mess. So where was her decorum? Liddell, every meeting, Liddell Lewis creates a hostile work environment. And if I forget to say that, y'all, because she be trying to take shots, My only words are I'm gonna start just saying you're creating a hostile work environment. And if I don't remember to say it, y'all inbox me so I can remember, because some of the stuff they be last minute and on, it's just crazy. Producer Jay, what is he doing? So,
are you listening? Oh my God!
Not Ariel. Our 10th councilman, Ariel Mitchell. The part that how they go after Ariel, that's your warning. And that's your warning. Leave Ariel alone. They go after everybody. I wasn't at this meeting. I was not there. So she cussed at him first, then called him a racist, bitch, but he just happened to be recording in the garage. He wasn't referring to her Traverse. He knows his vehicles. He was referring to probably Leon's new Cadillac that was at his house that Beverly Biggs and Kevin Tay go tomorrow to court at 3:30, I believe Judge Hannibal's courtroom. Because that city trash can, y'all, we got problems with the trash can, was in front of a house that does not live in Flint. Page 10, Flint City, page 10 of the charter tells you, and y'all know I'm gonna keep us all on the same page. If you was mad about the laptop or say you had problems with Councilman Mays, I need you to be just as mad about that trash can. Page 10, number 4, use underneath the ethics, use of Flint City property for other than city purposes. You cannot use city property for use other than city purposes. We don't pick up the trash in Mount Morris Township. We don't have any dirt roads. We don't. And so where was her decorum? And then Candace saying, bye-bye, you get a warning. That's your second warning. The hostility that those people have. The hostility that if they come into us with problems or they got questions, that immediately you're out of here. If y'all don't vote for somebody other than who they like, you'll continue to have this problem. Will continue. The part that she keeps saying these jobs is providing money for the household. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I never told my kids and their dad that you're responsible for providing money to them. And these jobs provide money for the household. If you are putting the burden of your job as a parent on the kids, stop being a parent, because you're not a good parent. It is not a child's responsibility, number 1, to take care of the household. Don't have kids. Don't put that burden on a child. I mean, the stuff that come out her mouth. I mean, the disrespect to all of you. I'm going to say it to you. I'm sorry that y'all have to deal with them. I have to deal with them. I literally, not only do I have to deal with them, this last meeting, I'm telling you, Candace just talked. I've told her she talked. And it's like a nervous talk. And Jerry was like, I don't know how you deal with that. And it was because I'm reading, I'm trying to go over something, I'm trying to, keep stuff up. And so the thing is that even when she went back here in the back, I had to tell her, I can hear you on the phone. You can't hear, but they want you to be silent. They want you to be silent. But what is the number 1s for? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see the video of Ariel roasting her. And okay, listen. So the part that thank you, producer, but the part that you're disrespected and you pay our salaries. By the way, Tanya Burns need to be paid way more than what she getting paid. The abuse I take. And listen, I'm gonna need me a little Prius or something, because I'm out there. This job don't pay you enough. Mentally, it'll wear on you. Physically, they keep me in court because I'm fighting for what's right for my ward, for the people, not just my ward, Flint. I take calls from everywhere. I don't even know how people get my phone number. I honestly don't know. Dr. Padroni, funny, he had the 5 1s, really. So the disrespect that was given at that meeting, every meeting, the hostility and the disrespect has always come initially from those rubber stamper 5s. It has always come from them. Councilman Pfeiffer was not referring to her Traverse. He was probably referring to Councilman Lee. He has a beautiful, nice black Cadillac. I like it. I mean, I do. If I didn't have to have all these attorney fees, I could probably get me a nice new one too. But I can't because I have like 4 attorneys to have to deal with because they're keeping me in court. And we go on to court. We got so many court days. We're being sued by Doug right now, and we got to pay for it ourselves. And again, shout out to Attorney Terry Johnson, who called me up and said, "Hey, what are you doing? You know, what's going on?" And I didn't even tell him. He already knew. And this was Thursday. Wasn't Friday, y'all. It was Thursday. I think Thursday. And so I do want to say the hostility comes from them. It comes from them. So let's go on to, let's play the video.
And George, I can't get ahead for the red rooster to keep pecking, to treat me like a hen. I mean, the red rooster and the elephant in the house is the red rooster here calling the shots. Red rooster, hello? Are you listening? Oh my God! Well, I never did understand about a rooster. When I first got married and got my son, the first thing I offered to buy him a rooster, and my wife said, "What you gonna buy the boy?" I was going. She said, "You can't have no rooster in Flint." I was going, and I was gonna see what a rooster is all about, cause I left Georgia too early. I also had a whole lot of biddies running around. They treat them and they eat them. Step on one by accident, you can kill them out so many. And I wonder where they come from. And I ain't been. See, I can't even get used to this Flint, Michigan, because people like Handkerchief Head, Nick Roll, whatever they is, I'm trying to find out which one they are. Hey, the rooster moving around over there. I mean, okay, and another thing,
Mr. Mitchell,
ma'am,
please refrain from using derogatory language. Thank
that's
you.
That's real language. Wait a minute, honey. I'm trying to figure out what's. Anyway, Happy New Year, everybody. Well, every New Year's I'll be trapped in the streets, going through the New Year party out in Grand Blanc 3 years in a row, and they playing that. And the DJ playing that white boy music and all that stuff and do the bunny track. I can't hardly track. And only play Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk. That's the only thing he played out there about that high school out across the street where that gas station is. And it was snow. But the woman didn't want to go buy stuff. That's why I went with it and barely made it. Anyway, how much time I got, Davina?
30 seconds.
Yes, dear. But man, well, I feel like I'm hen picked already. Rooster picked before I even get there. Pick me, Davina. How about that? What? Happy New Year, everybody. Stay tuned. We're gonna get our money or else. Tyler ain't gonna see to that.
Okay. All right, y'all. Okay. So listen, that's the 10th Ward Councilman, R.L. Mitchell. Oh my God. So listen, tomorrow, 10 o'clock a.m., Ashley Capital. You have been along this journey with me. We had the 2, Big John and Sherry, who showed up, and other friends of Oak Park who have shown up. And so what is happening is they will be doing a ribbon cutting tomorrow. Can you put up I believe I sent it. It is open to the public and welcome, and you are invited. It should be towards the bottom. So, thank you. Ashley Capital. Yeah, see when you had it big like that when you first brought it up. But then I don't know how we string it out. So maybe it's something we can first put it up. So ribbon cutting ceremony. Let me read it because thank you. Ashley Capital ribbon cutting ceremony. Flint Commerce Center Building 1 is fully leased. Tuesday, April 15, 2025 at 10 o'clock a.m. 2201 Industrial Avenue. So there will be a ribbon cutting tomorrow. What's something that was really neat? Thank you. So that we were doing the ribbon cutting. That building is fully leased now. If you go down there, and me and Councilman Pfeiffer did the little drive down there. The drive down there, they have cleared it out during sewer repair. And one of the things that they had to do, they said it was like blocks before, and now you have to make sure that it can't leak into the water system. And anyways, it's a lot of work going on. And so there were people had many questions about at first, and this you can take it down now. At first, and I'm gonna take it all the way back. They had, if Councilman Murphy hadn't have been, I would say to recall, he told us he was going to vote to give them all the property. He told us that. He said it. Only thing that stopped him was he didn't want that to come back on him because of he could have been removed from his seat from that. This is what happened. And so they had a meeting. During this meeting, they told the brothers and sisters of Oak Park and other people that were in there that they were going to, didn't matter, they were going to, they needed all that land for a parking lot and then expand the portion of the building. That's what they needed. So after protesting and rallying and coming to council and us working with them, me working with Sherry and Big John and saying, no, we got to keep this going. And they had younger people get involved. And so we all got involved. It changed it. It changed it. So they're able to keep a little bit over an acre, and they are going to put pavilions. It'll be a walking history. The park was the first Flint City Park. It was built established in 1909. And when the boom of the auto industry, immigrants were coming, people were living, there was no housing. People lived in the park. They lived in the park, and it was called Tent City. It was called Tent City. I shared my story with everyone that my parents owned a 2-story flat when I was born, and we lived after my mother did, and then my mother married my bonus dad, and we lived in that until they bought a house in Mount Morris. My parents kept the 2-story flat, which is at the corner of North and Baker, until the park was decommissioned in 1984, and General Motors bought the homes that were in that area. They bought them out. We lived next door to the Mahans, and the Hendersons lived around. Times were just different. People looked out. So one of the things my dad was like, well, baby, that sign belonged to you. What you want to do with it? I was like, well, let's donate it back and see if they can restore it. So my dad had, preserved the sign since he moved out and all the homes were demolished, and the street sign. So can you put that picture up? Or did you get it? So working with the community, they will have a portion. The group will have $2,500 to be used for park services, for their annual programming. Now this was not because Liddell and Candace and them supported. No, it's a sign in that one. Yeah. And so they did not support. Leave that up, please. And they did not support this because they said, well, they wanted, we're gonna give it to them when we know what had happened. Since then, Mark and I with Ashley Kevin have built a good relationship. And let me be clear, Tonya Burns has not taken nor asked for any financial donations. It's just good works. Out of this is why I said we need a community benefits agreement. Let the community have something that is shared, not individual nonprofits that council members are voting to give their own profits money. Leave that up for me. And so in behind, you see the sign is going to restore it. And then you still have the street sign, North Street, Baker Street. And so I donated that back, and me and my dad, to the city of Flint. And so that will be in the park so that for decades to go, that people will know what the history was of the park, and there'll be a walking memorial. So I want to be clear, the rubber stamp 5, we're going to rubber stamp that because they didn't care about the park. The park was going to be gone. They had already said, they said at the meeting, ain't nothing that you can do, nothing you can do. That park it's going to be a parking lot. And then they said it in some council, they didn't care. But what happens when you don't give up and the community start to come together? Things change. We all get involved. I don't want to have a, ask you, hey, I want to be a good partner because we have 10 buildings. This is this building 2 of 10. We want to be a good partner. I don't take anything from businesses. I don't. But look, they want to go pay my water bill off. They can knock themselves off. I ain't denying nobody from paying it off. Okay. I'm just saying, because your girl keep having attorney bills. But this is a story where we say the community came together. People rallied, they showed up, and Ashley Capital said, hey, we got people who really, care about this part. Let's redo some, and see what we can do. And what they did was made a promise, and they're fulfilling their promise to the residents of the city of Flint by creating pavilions, putting barbecue grills, a walking pathway, benches out there, and they will maintain, Ashley Capital will maintain it for 20 years. After that, city of Flint will be taking it over. So it's basically a recommissioned park that people thought it was going to go away and that they had no recourse. And it just wasn't true. Now, I hope Big John and Sherry quit talking to Liddell and them because they was doing them away. So, I mean, they better be careful. I ain't trusting them. Don't you trust them folks? Because them folks said y'all was a done, gone. They did nothing to help. And they were happy with making sure it would be gone. So out of the ashes arose a new park with funding for the community. So, Producer Jay, and look, y'all, look, that was part of my inheritance. I was getting a sign and 2 signs. So how do you do that? But listen, it is going to, I love that it's being repurposed into something that will be in the landscape architecturally. I love the thought of this. I truly, truly do. So something good came out of people not giving up. So what I'm saying is, for those of you who come to council and you think it may be slow, you think that nobody's listening, there are people who are listening. I know 4 council people who care and listen to your needs. You have 4 council people who are working against 4 council people who it's their way. But if they get that 5th vote, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Now, one thing you might want to consider is campaign season. If you want to advertise on the Tonya Burns Show, feel free, reach out because they never, nobody, I guess I don't run this part. No funds go to me. All funds go to Producer Jay of the Good Night Shanetta. All proceeds go to Producer Jay. So listen, Producer Jay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you can, before we play the intro, can you put up the flyer? So be careful who you're voting for, that 3rd ward. Do not vote for who they are voting or supporting. If Candace and Liddell are supporting them, they in pictures with them, don't do it. That's going to get they 5 vote. And guess what happens with that 5 vote? Leon still has $150,000 to be paid in ARPA funds. It's on there. He has $150,000. Candace had submitted with her freshwater aquatic or whatever, $300,000. You're going to see more of that ARPA fund go to them. So it is up to you, the community, because you hold the power in your vote to vote for somebody who's not going to be their rubber stamper. Who's not going to be their rubber stamp. Jay, thank you for the $3 super sticker. Thank you. So I'm serious, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I truly do. And so I want 190. You funny. Merck 76, what's up? And thank you for coming. 3rd ward, please vote. And Tonya crew needs help. Tonya crew need help. We do need the help. So if I didn't call your name, y'all charge it to my mind, not to my heart. JP6, Merck 76, and then my chat goes, y'all. I'm sitting here with the Arcadia's water distribution, my charter, my council rules. Look, 2 phones, other pack of papers, and then my legal pad. So charge it to my mind, common sense, thank you, and have a good night, common sense. Listen, so charge it to my mind, not to my heart. So if you want to advertise, please advertise with and you want something to be on, I can give you, call that number, they'll give you the information that you need. Please kindly donate to Cash App Producer J 1987. Please donate kindly to Producer J 1987. Producer J, can you put on the exit intro and contact that number if you want to advertise? DeAndre, listen, sending love to you too. Avis Hopkins, sending love to Jessica Stewart. Hey, beautiful lady, appreciate you. And I probably did not see a lot of these. Jason, point of order. Tanya Burns, listen, Jason, Tanya Burns trying to live right now. This budget, we're going to cover this budget stuff. This budget stuff is, I'm telling y'all, look, I would like them to have answers and come prepared because according to the charter, they're supposed to be. I'm just saying, you got all year to do it. Guess what happens this time next year? They got to come for budget hearing to be prepared. I'm just saying. Next year, they're going to have to come and be prepared. And when you aren't prepared, you pay over $260,000. You pay $260,000 more for trash cans, and you get the mayor's name. I'm just saying, you just do. So Eddie Gray, DeAndre Jones, everybody that is on here. And look, we're gonna go over my comprehensive public safety plan too. We're gonna get into. I know I'm gonna give Investigate and Navigate. I'm gonna give them the information. They can go talk to the trash, but why we paying more for trash? We're gonna get out. We're gonna get out with the Jedediah. He want to investigate, navigate, and see what's going on. I'm gonna give him that. He was down there cleaning, and I want to welcome him and his group to the city of Clinton because we are welcoming, sending them love and welcoming them while they are here. If you are available, Beverly Biggs has her and Kevin Tate has their hearing tomorrow. I believe it's Judge Hannibal's at 3 or 3:30. So listen, City Council is tomorrow, 4:30. City Council. Producer Jay.
What's going on?
Let's put up if you want to advertise, so they've got that. And I know it's not at the bottom. You can put it'll be on the Facebook page. Place it on the Facebook page if you want, because they will be, you can call that number. None of those funds go to me because Producer Jay, this is a way of making sure we can keep producing and giving you shows like this. I will be starting a new show starting Tuesday on the Urban News Network with Dr. Karen Weaver. And we are going to be merging and doing things so we can grow our audience. So bringing positivity, making sure we're covering you. Good night, DeAndre, and everyone else. I want you to know we're growing. So Producer Jay, we got our work cut out for next week. We're going to cut it down to 2 hours.
Nobody ain't even, I didn't even no conversation.
So listen, I'm gonna put up a flyer coming up here soon for Tuesday, 8:00. Tomorrow gonna be a lot. It's gonna be filled, y'all. Gonna be a lot to talk about. But I need to get them that rare rig, or because we Miss Snazzy, she was snazzy up there with Dennis. Woo. Yeah, so her little clapbacks ain't what I'm gonna deal with when I'm asking the question. So anyways, Producer Jay, thank you for all you do. And to our moderators, Sheena Beckton and Patrick Jean, I appreciate you for being in here. And I appreciate all of you for in the chat. The chat was, y'all was on it. I'm gonna send love to you. Look, hug yourselves for me. I can't do, so I'm hugging, look, a hug from me to you. Thank y'all for being some of the best people who have been in here, who stayed with me through this. I'm not going to say this, through this few hours of bringing you the facts. Thank you for sharing your time. Producer Jay, appreciate you. I hope you feel better. I want you to be better. And we need to start, we got other stuff to cover. So Producer Jay, let's hit the exit music. Play the ad, then play the exit music. And
Want to grow your business? Advertise with the Tonya Burns Show and unleash your brand's potential. Contact us today for advertising rates. Call 810-354-5843. That's 810-354-5843. Or email hcrcga@gmail.com.
That music was hot. Listen, the producer Jack. Now let's do the Tonya Burns one. That's when we officially out. Y'all be blessed.
It's the Tonya Burns Show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that file. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up. We're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tonya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. We